She went almost like, but it was just like a laugh, and then it wouldn't. It was like, where it just kept coming. Where it's like, wow. Yeah, but I've been wanting some mass death. Of course, I don't want my mom to die. You realize how many videos I watch of people standing in line at a fast food restaurant that gets something wrong, and they try to fight the whole staff of teenagers and the downtrodden that are just working minimum wage, and this guy's ask for a Diet Coke, you know? So there should be some death.
What side?
I mean, that's obvious.
Exactly. It's like, what side are you on? Like, do you think that they truly would do something?
I mean, they obviously created AIDS. Yeah, come on, dude. HIV just happened after that. It just happened normally after.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy's on top.
Yeah.
Wait till he finger bangs a waitress. I'm telling everybody.
Hey, he finger banged that waitress.
And everybody's like, what?
Canaan Show.
Hi, and welcome to episode 10 of Canaan Show. The following is a conversation with Josh Lewis. Josh is a Nashville stand-up comedian. We had a really fun conversation. Really went from everything between farts and how you just can't beat a fart, and the and Josh enjoying horror movies, and we talked about movies and like production stuff. It was a lot of fun. We went a lot of places with the conversation, but I really enjoyed it. Josh, if you'd like to see any of him, if you're ever in Nashville, Josh hosts one of our most staple open mics that we have in the city called East Room, and it's every Tuesday night. So if you're ever in Nashville, you want to check out Josh, that's where you'd find him. Other than that, I hope that you enjoy the episode. I appreciate your interest, and please enjoy this conversation with Josh Lewis.
Canaan Show.
I guess I kind of want to talk to you a little bit about, just because it's so scene stuff, is is just like the Mike at East Room requiring the vax thing, and I want to hear like just as you're, because I know like once that happened, I saw you were on a show like right after they posted that, and I was like, I know this wasn't from you, and you're like, yeah, it's not from me, but people definitely think that I somehow made this decision.
I'm a communist, dude. I'm the Joe Biden liberal now. Communist. Dude. No, I mean, I don't give a shit either way. I can cuss on here right now. I've already done it. Yeah. I don't care either way. I know some people are very torn about all this. It's hurt attendance, that's for certain.
I mean, were they even doing it for long enough before a vax requirement to like compare like right now attendance of non-vax versus, because it seems like the other mics that aren't other mics outside of Comedy Bar that aren't offering the whole vaccine thing, it doesn't seem like they're doing a ton better.
No,
as far as attendance.
I think as far as the comics attending, every place else is doing much better.
That's probably true.
We're not getting a lot of audience members. You were there this past week. We're not getting a lot of that. We used to get a lot of that. That's what's weird.
I'll say this is really sad, and I was standing outside about to go up on Tuesday, and this dude comes up. He's by himself. He walks up, starts to go inside. He's like, "There's a comedy show in here?" I was like, "Yeah, there's a comedy show in here." He goes, "Oh, cool." And then he looked at the sign. He goes, "Wait, you gotta take one of these vax cards in here?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Fucking what?" And he just turns around and walks out. And I was like, "Damn, dude, that's happening." Like I had not like watched that happen until that night, and I literally just watched some guy go, "Nah," off of purely the vaccine thing. Like he was totally down to like go watch a show, and then it was just that he didn't have it. I'm sure if he'd had it or whatever, but yeah, it's just, I don't know. Like that's I don't know what that is. Like I'm hearing a lot of people argue about that. They're like, you care enough, and then you're still out doing the show. I don't know. There's no winning this. And like
no.
Like there's no correct answer if we want to do what we're still doing.
Exactly.
Like that's what's like a little bit crazy to me, is that there's no like, oh, this is how it should be done. We don't know how it should be done.
No, and even if there was somebody that ran up and went, I think I got the answer, 50% of the people would be like, we trust you. And then the other 50 go, pretty sure I read about you in the book of Revelations. I'm pretty sure you're trying to kill me and all that stuff. So, I mean, the way I look at it is get it or you don't, live or you die. Or some people that don't get it are going to live a fine, long, happy life.
And like, exactly. Like,
so I don't know. I don't know, but I really, I support the venue that has supported us here in Nashville as long as they have.
Exactly. So to make that note, I mean, I was actually just explaining this mic to somebody a couple days ago, and I was like, I mean, this has probably been damn near 10 years at this point that it's been going on, right?
8 or so?
Yeah.
7 or 8?
I mean, it's been here for a long time, and they've always been cool to the scene. So
make it a point to be cool.
Exactly. Like they don't have to, because they're a music venue and they
could easily not be open on a Tuesday night.
So easily.
You can see it on their faces.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I feel bad, and it's pretty bare bones in there as far as like on most Tuesdays. Most of the time it's just Ani or whatever. Yeah. Or and like if there's other people now, it feels even worse because they have to have like somebody checking the cards and everything. That guy Nate was there last week having to do all that, and I was like, ugh, this is just.
I mean, I don't know what it's done for like their music shows, their rock shows, especially rock shows, because I mean, I imagine they're losing money. But I talked to one of the owners, and he's like, Live Nation is apparently going to go full vax. The Ryman, I think, went full vax. I think Bridgestone Arena is going to go full vax for hockey games.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, that's probably why well, no, it's not why, because I think Rogan got the COVID or whatever, actually, and so that's why they canceled that show. Yeah, but I was going to say, I was like, I wonder if that's part of it. But the day that I knew something was different was whenever the New York thing came out, and they were like, all of New York is going to like do this.
You got to expect
and whether or not they're like that actually goes through, it's like the idea of that and that being a pretty commonplace like acceptance that seems pretty crazy to me. I was like,
I'm weirded out by it.
Dude, that is
as much as I think people should go get this vaccination, just get this shit over with. At the same time, whenever like you see any public official come out and go, you have to do this.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah. Dude, what I don't understand is people that say that they don't understand how people don't want to take the vaccine.
I totally understand.
That is so crazy to me that you can't even place your mind into a place to like not trust a year turnaround government vaccine. Like, you guys are also the same people that are saying that they created AIDS.
Yes.
It's like, what side? I mean,
that's obvious.
Exactly. It's like, what side are you on? Like, do you think that they truly would do something?
I mean, they obviously created AIDS. Like, come on, dude. HIV just happened after that. It just happened normally after. I don't know. It's all so confusing because I have friends on both sides of the aisle, and none of them I feel are bad people, and none of them I feel that they want other people to die. I'm the only person I think that wants other people to die. I just wanted that for a while. Since COVID came out, I was like, okay, if we can start stacking some bodies on the street, then we'll solve
some problems.
The problem you're thinking of is probably overpopulation.
That's one of them.
The problem I'm thinking of is nobody really appreciates anything. I feel like an old man now. Nobody appreciates anything anymore. I don't think they ever have.
There's well, that's funny that they're called that. There's a death of gratefulness, like a Grateful Dead. Like I was gonna say, there's nobody's ever grateful for anything anymore. Like no one's ever like, yeah, it's not the best, but
You realize how many videos I watch of people standing in line at a fast food restaurant that gets something wrong and they try to fight the whole staff of teenagers and the downtrodden that are just working minimum wage, and this guy's I asked for a Diet Coke, So there should be some death, and so whenever he walks in there and he gets a 5,000 calorie meal for like $6.99 or whatever, he should be like, man, this is pretty good. I've lived another day. I can eat this horrible food. It's horrible for you. I mean, it tastes good.
Yeah, well, that's the craziest thing about that is how bad it is and how good it tastes. Like, it doesn't even seem like your body should be able to be fooled like that. Yeah, like, after hundreds of thousands of years of evolution or whatever the fuck we've gone through, it's like we could still just like eat something and go, that's great, but it actually is killing us. Like, that's so crazy to me.
It's very weird. It's like I guess there's a lot of stuff that tastes good out in nature that kills you, right? Oh, I'm sure there's somebody had to eat poison
like berries and stuff. Like I'm sure that there's, and I guess maybe it's just flavored for other things because it's like I think that there's some berries and stuff that like we would eat that we would die to, but like the bears or other animals would eat.
And they'd just be like, just be like, indigestion,
a little Pepto, get some Pepto chips going,
and then we're fine. But I've been wanting some mass death. Of course, I don't want my mom to die.
Dude, once they were like those burial grounds in New York, and there was like mass graves, and you were like, heck.
I was like, it started. It has begun. I remember sitting there in fear and also just like of being like, if it starts wiping out New York,
Yeah.
and people don't pay attention to this,
It's going everywhere.
this is going to be. And also, I was mad because I'm starting to become older, like every person that ages. And if I was like in my 20s, where I could survive on like half a ham sandwich for 2 or 3 days, the apocalypse was just my life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I had no air conditioner. I lived in a trailer, so it's essentially a tin box.
Right.
Like I had a fan. That's it.
There you go.
A fan and a kerosene heater, and I ate small amounts, and I worked at a factory where I loaded trucks. I was in peak shape.
Yeah.
Everything was, well, not everything was, nothing was good.
Yeah.
But I could have survived.
But your
Now,
health, you were not worried about like a disease like COVID.
I've gotten lazy.
Yeah.
Dude, I woke up early to come here to talk to you. I would have slept till fucking 11, 12 o'clock today.
Dude, also, I will say this now that we're in the middle of this. You're the first person that I've ever invited on this podcast to arrive here early.
I'm worried. I'm worried about not showing up to
You are
places
the
on time.
very first. And I mean, we haven't done that many, but we've had like 12, 14 podcasts in here, something like that.
Yeah.
And
See, this seems, for some reason, this seems important to me. If you ask me over here to hang out, if I show up at the time I say it, I'll be there at 7.
yeah.
If I get there at 7:30,
Yeah. You're
consider
on
it early.
time.
Yeah,
On time.
Yes, I'm on time.
Yeah.
I'm literally 30 minutes late, and I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah, and that's how I'm half assuming. Like I said 1 to you, but it was like the real reason that I wanted even earlier in the afternoon is because he has to be gone at 4. And
Yeah.
so as long as we're out at 4, so I said 1, expecting you not to get here until 1:30, half
2.
expecting us not to start until 2, and it's like then that way we still have 2 hours until he has to.
Have a whole day.
Exactly.
Got a whole day ahead of you, David. You can speak on this, right? Are you allowed to talk?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a microphone.
He looks so,
Sorry, yeah.
David, it's been a few weeks, buddy. You doing okay over there?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
He's
A few
bundled
weeks
up.
since I've been like you said it like I haven't existed at all.
No,
Like,
I mean like a few weeks since we've been doing an episode. That's all I'm saying.
No, I'm doing good. Things are good. I don't know. I was unprepared. Sorry. This is
This is what I do,
on my
man.
part.
This is what I bring to the
It's a
table:
bomb.
spontaneity.
Yeah.
David doesn't like participating in the first 50. He sets things up. So whatever we're done, he's like, okay, I'm just going to chill for the first little while. And after like half an hour, 40 minutes, he'll start.
Oh, okay, chiming in.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I get your vibe, and then if
Yeah.
I can chime in, maybe I chime in. If I don't, maybe I don't. Maybe you talk about some stuff. I research it.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
chime
yeah.
in with that.
Do y'all
He's
have-
a little bit of Jamie. He's a little
I
bit
do.
of
Oh,
everything.
okay.
Yeah. He'll
Can
do-
we watch things?
We've been
You
considering
gotta figure
adding
that.
that. He's actually
Yeah.
told me. He's like, we
I
could
have
probably
nothing to
add that.
watch. I don't
Yeah,
know why I got so excited.
We were like,
Oh,
oh, dude,
bring
gotta
us-
pull something
We
up.
Oh,
could
did you pull
watch
up some
that.
World Star people fighting in like McDonald's?
In
and shit?
theory, if I had another monitor, I
Yeah,
could
dude,
do it.
That,
That's-
that might
yeah,
be one of the things
that
that
easy.
we're considering.
I got an old
Yeah.
TV.
I have one upstairs. I have a monitor.
You guys can have at this
Yeah.
point. I don't want
Is
it
it flat
anymore.
screen?
Flat screen.
Oh, bring it over here, dude.
I've had it. I remember I live in East Nashville, and one of the first places I lived over there got broken into, and they stole a jar of change that had upwards of $200 worth of change in it. I've been saved it forever. So and everybody, oh, why did you call the cops? I was like, look for somebody that looks like they would spend excessive amounts of change or break into a home. Can you find one of those for me, officer?
Yeah.
Shake him down. That's obviously my change. So I didn't say anything. And then I sat down and turned on my TV, and my TV wouldn't come on. So I went to a pawn shop, bought almost the exact same model, set it down, and that thing has lasted so long. That was
Really?
like 2012.
Really?
Oh wow.
And that TV is still kicking it. Like the only reason I just don't have space for it anymore. Like I kept moving it. I used it as a computer monitor, and I was like, "This is stupid."
Dude, there was a time
I
right
was
around
like,
there where TVs were really, really good because it was before.
back when America was great. I agree.
Make it great again. No,
Cars lasted you 15 years.
no,
People appreciated death.
Dude, we were looking forward to it. No.
Yeah, exactly. I will lay down every night, being like, "God, take me, please, God, take me."
Oh my god! But just like TVs at that one point, before they were all with the depth, and then they went initially
tubes.
to like the little bit of a thin screen, and then in like 2 or 3 years, right when they got to flat screen, they like made some really good ones for the time. They don't have like the 4K screens, or whatever.
Plasma screen.
Yeah,
I remember
plasma.
that was a big deal.
But they were built well. It was like my dad had one. It was a Samsung. It was like I don't know. It was pretty big, but it was about the same time, sometime in like 2010-ish area, and it just lasted until like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And they didn't even replace it like the same thing as you. It's not that it's not working. It's just in a different room. They got just a newer, fresher screen or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I did.
And that's all it is.
I went to Best Buy and bought a used one. I'll never buy a non-used TV
It
again unless
hardly-
I make a lot of money.
It's kind of, well, yeah. It's kind of like one of those things with cars. Like cars, they devalue immediately once you buy them, and the TVs are almost in
Who
that
made
same.
that up?
What do you mean?
Somebody had to make that up.
What, the
That
devaluation
a
of
car,
car?
you drive it off the lot and it loses $15,000
I mean,
or
it
something
kinda
like that.
does.
And I'm like, how?
Because nobody cares.
Because somebody just drove. Somebody
Well, because
drove
it's
it
not
off
because
the
it's
fucking
because
parking
at that
lot.
point it's officially pre-owned, and so you can't say that it's like a that's the room.
Oh, the dog.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
It's just there's
we have another
monsters
room.
here. I hope that picked that up. There was just a Halloween door. Open it and then something that sounded like claws. Unless it's dog.
It's actually just one of those like zombies with no legs. They open the door and they crawling.
You know they use real amputees for those. I'm a
Really?
huge horror movie guy. Huge horror movie.
Oh, dude,
I
well,
didn't know
that's
that
probably
you were-
good
Yeah.
for like ableism. Like
Yes.
people hate when you don't hire the right people.
We enable these people as monsters.
Yeah.
It's
dude.
like
The
if you're gonna
monsters they
have
are.
You are the monster that you are appearing to be now.
you have a
You
guy
heard
with
it here
no
first.
legs.
If you're missing a limb, you're a monster, and we got a job for you.
On the season finale of The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
You would have a
Yes. And by the way, you're just going to be surrounded by a lot of able-bodied people.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we're not really going to be able to see.
The able-bodied people might throw you like a toy.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Yeah. They put you on the floor. You have to crawl around. That's pretty.
Yeah. Hey Bill, can you go
mean-
get me a Coke? They just make it. They don't even make him like a zombie. They just make him like an intern or a guy that goes and gets stuff. Hey, could you get on your skateboard over there, Nubs, and go get me a Diet Coke? He's like, sure. Da-da-da-da. Probably super fast,
Dude.
I mean, considering his legs are wheels, 4 of them.
Yo, dude, he's four-wheeling out
He's
here.
4-wheeling. That guy's mudding.
Yo, dude, he's mudding, bro.
He's killing it. Yeah. So there was a time in my life where I would get like a DVD for Christmas or my birthday. So sometimes 2 DVDs a year because I didn't have anything. But I spent a lot of money on a DVD player and lost my job the next day.
Oh, no.
It's how hillbilly I was. I was living in that trailer and I fucking buy the DVD player with like my check and I'm just like, I'm good. And Tool, the band Tool DVD. I didn't have trash pickup because I couldn't afford it, but somebody gave me a barrel, so I just put my trash in the barrel and burned it. It's a very regular practice where I'm from.
Right.
And imagine a lot of the viewers and listeners. So I burn all that, and then I think it was like a day or two later, I go into work and they laid me off. They were just
my
like,
God.
goodbye. I go to the unemployment office. They were offering me like $100 a week just because I wasn't making shit to begin with.
Right.
And then I just had this DVD player, and I was like, well, I don't want to sell it. This is now all I have.
Yeah.
So for Christmas or my birthday, I would get a DVD from like my mom or a friend. And at one point, I had Dawn of the Dead, the remake of Dawn of the Dead, the Snyder cut
Oh, okay.
of Dawn of the Dead. And so that's all I had. And rabbit ears that wouldn't always work.
See, and that's the thing too about a DVD player. It's not like it's Netflix, and
No.
you just have. It's just whatever discs you actually
I have
physically
that.
have.
You have that disc and whatever special features. And I love special features. So I watched the commentary. So I would watch the movie one day. The next day I would watch the movie with commentary. And then I would watch the special features. It's like a 3-day thing. And then it'd be like, well, guess I need to do that again. Rinse and repeat. And that's how I found out that they just use real amputees. They were just like, see that dude running with no arm? You know how we did that?
No arms.
He was born that way. And they loved it. I mean, it was like an Asian dude just beating feet, man.
Just going.
no
I
arm.
love that you're still doing this.
Yeah, you have to get into it. You have to pantomime. Is that
No,
what
dude.
pantomime is?
I think. So, how have you ever tried to like do or work in anything horror stuff? You ever tried to?
Eddie Ortiz,
Yeah,
friend of the
yeah,
show.
Yeah. Well, not yet, but yeah, he will.
Okay, yeah, I was just making sure before. I was like,
yeah.
he got me into a horror movie, but I was just an extra. But they put me in a place where they had to like use me as a marker because they did one good take, and I just happened to be
in the
standing
right
there.
spot.
So yeah, but they also put a filter on there where I'm just a silhouette. There was a little old lady standing next to me. It was like in a mental ward or something. A little old lady standing next to me. You can kind of see her, but you can't see me at all.
Dude, one of my favorite things about having done a little bit of work in production stuff is just like how soulless it treats some people, especially like extras, actors, anyone like that. It's like you think you got something and you nailed something, and it's like you had a beautiful scene, and then like the shot of you doing it is like way too close in your face, and you just look at it and you're like, oh my god, that's terrible, or something, so they end up not using it or whatever. It's like, it's always something.
Always
it's
cutting room floor for me, man.
Exactly. It's never.
I was there for like 4 or 5 hours.
Oh, that was it? You only one day?
Yeah. It was just for that
Oh, it was
one
just an
scene.
extra day.
It was one scene where like a big orderly guy tells people to go into a room, and then he tells me to get down the hallway.
Boom.
Basically it. I don't know what happened. I
Did you
watched
ever watch the movie?
Oh yeah, totally. Out of pure vanity.
Had to.
You think I would? So there's a lot of newer horror movies I don't care for at all.
Dude, and also just so you know, in the independent film scene, horror is like
Yeah, because it's the easiest. It's
Yeah.
a built-in audience.
Yeah.
You'll always go see horror
Right.
because that's a date night. That's for a guy to get the girl scared.
it's yeah, dude. And so many people like it. Like I'm not super big into horror like some people,
I'm
but
huge.
some people. Yeah, I know you're not the first one I met. It blows my mind how specifically that type of thing. And it's not like all horror movies are the same.
No.
It's not like there's always jump scares or always any type of certain type of plot point. It's like there's always something different, but it's still somehow classified as horror because of whatever. Like there's like 8 different things.
If you
that
get
classify-
into it, there is subgenres. Just
Oh,
like,
I'm sure.
you know,
There's
somebody
like
that-
there's like the psych stuff and then
Yeah.
the zombie stuff or whatever. Like I'm sure there's like in any type of movie there's that. But it's like I don't know, dude. Horror is like it's so funny to me how that registers with people. That people want that.
Yeah.
That is one of the craziest things.
people don't appreciate death. That's what I've been trying to tell you. I do. I want to see it simulated. I did
over
rewatch.
and over.
Dude, so as a kid, Faces of Death. Are you guys familiar with this?
I think so.
So at one time, somebody would have it on VHS.
Oh, no,
and they
maybe
would
not
dub
then.
it, and you start giving it to people, and it has like executions and all this stuff. in
Oh,
it.
God.
Absolutely does not. Not one bit. Animal executions, yes.
Yeah.
Which I'm still not. I am less a fan of, to be honest.
Way less a fan.
Way less a
Did
fan.
you? I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I think was that the one with Alexandra Daddario.
Oh, you talking about the remake, or you talking about the
I
original?
can't remember, but
No.
I just remember because you said that because I always think of that one because at the very beginning of that movie, there's a bunny that's like walking out on the street.
Okay, that's the remake.
Yeah. Okay. And then he just gets hit by the car.
Yeah.
And I, like that, I remember that was the funniest thing to
I've
me.
seen that in real life.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm
it's
sure.
so
Oh,
gross.
Yeah, yeah,
it's so
it's
terrible.
way
We're just
worse
like,
in real
hey, look,
life.
oh.
and yeah, I don't know. Like I think it's bad. There's almost a negative connotation whenever it's real life, but especially because I don't even think it was probably like a CGI bunny or some shit. Maybe it wasn't.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
I would believe either way, but regardless, you could tell that like it was just hilarious because it just came out of nowhere, and that like I don't like that's what I think is great about horror. I'll laugh at horror stuff whenever like
yeah, that's a natural reaction.
and I don't understand that. Like some people, I'll laugh and I turn over and some girl's crying. It's like I don't understand how we're seeing the same thing and you're crying and I think it's hilarious.
One of my best going to a theater experiences, I went and saw My Bloody Valentine in 3D with the stupid glasses, the whole
yeah.
deal.
The like the blue and reds. back
No,
in the day?
not that bad. Yes, this was in this century. And me and my friend, we sit down, and like 2 ladies sit in front of us. And this is where I grew up in East Tennessee. So from the looks of them, they could be anywhere from 30 to 60. Just there's people that don't put sunblock on and smoke, and everybody looks tired.
You're right.
Tired, skin's a little leathery.
Yeah.
So they could have been any of this.
Yeah.
But My Bloody Valentine was so, at least at that time, was so over the top violent that I laughed at almost every part of it. It had a scene of just a naked girl that ran through a parking lot for like 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
It was felt forever. Where you went from like lustful excitement to like, when's she gonna get killed or something?
Yeah.
Clothes.
Yeah.
At this point,
Like
just
do
put on your
something for yourself. Die or clothe yourself.
Yeah,
It doesn't
quit
matter.
hiding behind that car, nude. And I never thought I would say that, or think it, or feel it, and
Or want it to be true.
or want it to be true, or want that more than anything. There's one scene where Bloody Valentine Man, well, I can't remember his name. He's a miner with an axe, and he's got the whole deal. Scary hulking beast, but human, somehow human.
Yeah.
He takes a pickaxe and he walks. So the scene is the sheriff is walking around the corner. It's just an old man, just an old pudgy man. And he's like, "Well, take her easy." And he walks around the corner of this like porch, and just goes, "Oh." And then a pickaxe catches him in the jaw, the mandible they call it.
Like goes like straight through.
Straight
the bottom.
through, and then rips
my
off and
God.
throws at you in the audience in 3D.
Oh,
And
gosh.
I don't think I've ever laughed so hard in my life. These women were terrified. The whole time I would start to laugh, and I could just see them like ducking.
Dude, it is like I accidentally watched the 3D movie not too long ago because we just bought it not even realizing, and then we went in there and we're like, oh fuck, and we had to go out and get the glasses. But it is like the stuff that kind of comes at your face a little bit. It'll make you kind of like,
There's
whoa.
a clip. Cut that clip.
Oh, comes at your face. Yeah, but I just mean like it'll make you like jump like or cross your eyes or something. To me, like I don't know. I something about that, like the thing coming out like it's not scary, but it'll make me like do that sort of thing.
things
where you're
flying
just
at
like,
you.
"Ah,
Well,
God."
I think that's you're being a human.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
if you
yeah.
just sat there and there's like demons flying, and you just go. I mean, they could add a little bit more to the plot. There's something wrong with it. I watched Shark Boy and
It's like-
Lava Girl
yeah.
3D with my nephew.
Oh yeah, well I mean like as
And
a
it was
kid I watched
phenomenal.
it. Yeah, I mean like that's what I remember. Like that's what I even reference really when I say like, the red and blues.
Yeah, because
It's like,
you get them at the DVD.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
in the DVD package.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
put on. Yeah.
You'd have them
At Friday the 13th 3D. And it
Oh
came
yeah,
with the
that's
glasses.
right. I forgot about that.
I bought that 3 to 4 years ago, a whole set used.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy told me, he's like, yeah, it's a shame that they don't have the 3D glasses with it. And I was like, it does suck. Shit, you not 2 weeks ago, I go to watch it because they're like, it was Friday the 13th. So I was like, ooh. I'm still not one of those people that love Halloween.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I would have assumed that
It's
with the
just
horror
too
thing.
much. It's too
What do you
much.
mean too much?
Hey, you just gotta. There's so much pressure.
Oh, but it's because
you
of like
dress
you gotta
up.
like dress up and
You gotta
make
dress
it a
up,
thing.
and then I got it. Like if you dress up, I gotta be like, oh, way to go. I mean, it's cool for kids, and then everybody's trying to be a slutty nurse, or
Yeah.
nobody dresses up like a scary thing.
No,
you know,
like
nobody.
people would be, especially nowadays. Like you see a
Dress
guy
up as
even on a
Cody.
Halloween thing, and he's got like one of those plague doctor masks on or something.
Oh,
and you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
yo, dude, stop.
topical. I get
Yeah.
it.
Well,
dude,
either
there's also-
sexy or funny. That's
Yeah.
all we're doing
Yeah.
out here. Okay.
Yeah, please don't scare. No,
Yeah.
but I want more of the scary. Just because I was like, oh, that's seems like it should be Halloween. Like I
mean,
should
like-
see a skeleton.
People should be way more okay with it. It just because it's so uncommon. Like that's really
Yeah.
the thing. It's like just like you, if you're out for Halloween, you're gonna have one guy that's dressed away that you're like, what the fuck, you? And I don't know
Yeah.
what it'll be about them, but
Well, it's because now everybody dresses like. I remember one of my favorite ones before I caught myself was the guy that did the ShamWow and the Slap Chop commercials.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about the guy that fought the prostitute or whatever.
Dude, wait, wasn't there a... Didn't they do... Maybe those were remakes, but of the Shamrock commercials where he was, like, in the prison? You remember those?
No, but that's great.
You never saw that?
No.
Oh, my God, dude. It was actually so great. He was just talking about, ShamWow, what can you do with ShamWow, you know? Whenever you're shivving another inmate, ShamWow can go over here and go right over top that blood. No
Was
one
it the
even
real
knows
guy?
No, I don't know that it was the
Okay.
real guy, but it
I
was
was
so
gonna
close.
say, that's some humility right
I mean,
there.
like, if it was him, that's even better. But, like, I remember seeing that. That was like a... I don't know. I think that was... Because I think it might have been him because
Vince.
I think
His name is Vince. I had to go through the commercial.
You had to go through it?
My name is Vince with Slap Chop. I think it's Vince.
oh
I
my
don't know.
gosh, that's
Jamie?
so funny.
Yeah.
No, but I don't know. Yeah, I think that the whole horror thing, like,
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking.
yeah, that's, I was like, how did we even get to here? I was like, oh yeah, the whole horror.
Oh, I don't
thing.
like Halloween. I mean, Halloween's fun. It's not that I don't like
Yeah,
it.
well, okay, but also,
Just a lot of pressure.
when did Halloween start becoming for adults?
Like,
I feel
probably
like there was
the
a
pagans.
His name's Vince Offer. Vince Offer. That's his
Vince
name.
Offer?
Yeah.
Vince Offer. He's making you an offer on the. That's it. He had to change that,
yeah,
right?
that's not real.
It's like
way
I'm
his
Vince
real name.
Offer. I'm
If
making
it's,
him
is it
so neat
spelled
shit.
like European offer?
No, it's just straight up-
OFFER.
Hell yeah, it
Dude,
is.
you know, but I don't believe it, and I'll tell you why. Because I've been doing these things where I've been shooting these commercials for these online companies off of a website, and all they want you to do is impersonate. Like it's mainly guys from like the Ukraine or like somewhere in a non-white culture going, we need a white guy to say this for a specific type of audience.
How did you get mixed up into this?
Basically, I found it online. It was like
Are you a television personality in like Uzbekistan?
I wouldn't say it like that. It's more like these like Bitcoin companies and stuff. It's like
okay.
online companies. And you know, like you see like these ads, and you see just like the shittiest version of this is like you see a guy and they like sent him a little thing, and he's like got his iPhone and he's like unpackaging it, talking about it. He's like, this is good. And it's like a face cream or something.
You gotta smear this cream on your face?
No.
Okay. I was like,
but
dude.
but that's what I'm saying. It's like it's basically that. It's like that same type of involvement, but because of the stuff and everything, I have a little bit more bandwidth to be able to like actually produce a thing. So that's
pretty cool.
But all of their scripts, all of them, it's like they're like you're not you. Like you're gonna be a different guy as you're saying this. It's like Howard Smith, I think was one of them. And they don't even care what it is. They're like, you make up a name that you don't mind saying.
So this is like dramatic reenactments.
No,
of
it's
things.
like commercial reads.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but as
Bart
that
Durham
person-
saved me thousands of dollars. My name is Howard Smith.
basically. Basically, this is basically
Check,
it.
please.
But, and that's pretty much it. Like, dude. I mean, I've showed I've showed David a little bit of this, and I've showed some other people, but it's like it's not that crazy complicated. And it's but all that
I
to
would
say,
love to be the white man star in a brown culture. especially foreign. Then they wouldn't even know what a goob I am.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Wow, it is white American rules."
And it is so funny because like I think probably on this website that I'm doing it on, it's like probably 70% of the inquiries I've got have been about crypto stuff and like a crypto company of some way.
It makes me feel like it's going to bust.
What do you mean?
And all this money I put into Dogecoin is just not going to make.
Oh well, why'd you do that?
I had $200 extra at the
And you put it into
year.
Dogecoin?
Absolutely.
Did you make money off of it?
Yeah.
Well, good.
For now.
I was about to say, what do you mean? Hold on, you made money.
I haven't pulled any money out.
Oh, that's the crazy part.
No, that's not crazy at all. Because
On
if it goes,
Dogecoin?
I bought it at 2 cents a coin, and if it goes up to $1, I have 7,000 Dogecoin at 2 cents.
Yeah.
And if it goes up to $1, I don't know what the math is, but it's pretty good.
It's
$3,500.
$3,500.
I think.
$3,500. I thought it would be so much more.
2 cents, and if it went up to 7, what was it, $1?
I have 7,000.
No, he has 7,000 of them.
I have
If it goes up to
7,000
$1,
at
then
2
it's
cents.
worth at least $7,000.
Oh yeah. Hey,
Is
there
it
you
still
go.
$3,500?
No,
No, $7,000.
I don't know. Wait,
$7,000?
No,
Yeah.
it's much more than that.
I don't know. I don't even know the equation to do that.
I
If
came
there's
in so
somebody
confident
smart
with
that listens to this,
$3,500.
their fucking heads explode. I'm like, how could you not know how to do this?
We're doing
I had
fucked
no
up
idea.
math about Dogecoin. Like,
Yes.
dude, this is exactly where we're supposed to be.
Every stock that I've invested in has tanked.
Well,
Like
sure.
everything I've done as far as investing has tanked.
Mm-hmm.
Dogecoin, on the other hand, has done nothing but shoot up from the moment I bought it.
I mean, that's the thing about investing is like you could buy at any given time, and if it might be it's like why would you have ever bought GameStop stock right before that? But if you had some, holy shit.
2 shares right here.
Yeah?
At
You're an early
$112
boy?
a piece, like a crazy person. But it's at $200 a share right now, so I've almost doubled my money.
Nice. That's awesome though.
But I'm afraid to pull it out because everybody's like, it'll eventually get back up to like $500 a share, and it probably won't.
I mean, I don't know, but I mean,
But it
I
did
will
shoot
say
up to
with-
almost 300, and I was like, should I? And then it just dropped, and I went, I guess I'll hold on.
I mean, one nice thing that might be in your favor is like how crazy inflation stuff is right now. Like, I don't know if you saw, but in Canada, in 1 year, their inflation currency, their currency inflated like 3%.
You're going to find this hard to believe. I don't understand inflation either.
You don't understand
I
inflation?
feel like I don't understand inflation. I don't understand
It's
why you
because
drive a car off the lot.
and
it loses value.
Okay, so with inflation's absolutely the stupidest thing because people like we've kind of taught, and you're even taught this in college, like in Keynesian economics, it's kind of like understood that inflation is basically just going to happen, which doesn't really exist. Like that's not real, but based on the way that the government runs the currency, because it's a federally led currency, it kind of is real. Like it's going to be really, really hard for them to, like if you want to be able to push forward and you don't always want to be able, like we're this far into debt, right?
Yes.
So obviously the government isn't a money making machine. So then
I think 2020 has told us different.
no, the insurance companies are money making machines, and,
that's
and the pharmaceutical companies are money making
true,
machines.
too.
But the government themselves and how they operate, they don't generate a lot of revenue. So because of that, they
We
all
start wars.
no,
makes a lot of money.
I mean, like yes, but also specifically for inflation, the reason is because whenever you go in and you're a government and you're doing things, but you're not making money, but you're wanting to do things and do more things, but you have no way of profiting because you're not a business necessarily. All you have to do, especially whenever you control your own currency, is just print more for it to be good.
Yeah.
And you're the first one to use the printed currency. So by the time it gets out to everybody else, that's when the inflation actually matters. But whenever you first do it, it seems like it's like just the same amount of money. So it's like, okay, every year, everybody's like town offices and everything, all of their budgets go up, or at least they have been for the last 30 years. And if they haven't, that's insane. So because of that, they're not making money. They're not profiting. So all
They're lessening the value of the
they're
dollar.
literally lessening the value of the dollar to
Now,
make it
that
to
makes
where
sense.
it's more dispersible. And then that's why you saw the greatest wealth transfer in United States history in the last 2 years. $5 trillion went up.
Oh yeah.
And it was like,
I felt it.
and it's like, and you can almost feel it. It's like you look around and you're like, yeah, that kind of feels like what happened. And that's like, to me, nobody ever talks about that. Like that's
No, they do. You should get on Twitter.
Okay, well,
Talk about it heavily. There's nothing I hear more than like these fucking billionaires. billionaires.
Well, no, but that's
and
what I'm
then
talking
people
about.
going,
This
I'm
isn't-
in a ditch right now, but I love billionaires.
But this is what I'm saying. This is the wrong way to look at it because it's not. That's not even really what it is. It's like you didn't vote, and then now they have these laws. Like that's all it is. It's like there's been plenty of opportunities that if you would just like group together as people and go no and actually do something like that, then they wouldn't be able to do it. Like it's like,
but how can we?
Like
whenever,
perfect example. Gavin Newsom in California.
Sure. You mean the rigged election? Sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. So people were talking about how it was rigged or whatever, but all it was that Republican people didn't show up to vote. In California,
No, they came out here.
well, yeah, exactly.
They're all out here. No wonder he went
In
by
California, for the Biden-Trump election, 6 million people voted for Trump. Right? If those 6 million people vote to recall Gavin Newsom, he's gone. Gavin Newsom didn't even get 6 million votes. That's all it is, bro. It's just that people don't actually know how to make the things that they want to happen. It's like, yes, if all of these people that are wanting to make California better would have just been, and they're Republican and they think, oh, because we are Republican, we can make this better, we'll vote this guy in, and all of them had done it, they would have won. It's just that simple.
Have you ever been to California?
No.
Me either. I heard it sucks.
Yeah, dude, every time.
From everybody that moves out here from California.
Every time, dude.
It's the only people out here. Used to, 10 years ago, everybody told me how California ruled as they were leaving Tennessee to go to California.
Yeah.
Now they moved back and it sucks.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think there's a correlation
I mean, I don't think
of
it's
how sucky people destroy things.
Well, it's so beautiful there. Like I'm sure that like you can't beat the weather and the climate and that type of it. It's
It's on fire though, right?
Well,
now,
yeah.
right?
Outside of that part of it, it's like 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 the beach and the weather.
If you can escape the wildfire, yeah, the waves of flames.
But the sun is great.
It's like
they burn you. You don't know what you're getting burned by.
just-
The flames
yeah,
of the
dude.
beautiful
the
sun.
base layer
California-
tan.
California
from
people
the
are
sun.
like California people. They point across the fucking country and they go, "You see these coal miners? They're ruining our air." And it's like wow, their entire
State's
state
burning.
is droughted because there's too many fucking people there and you're living in a desert and you're on fire. It's not like all of West Virginia is on fire because there's coal there. That's not what's happening.
No,
it's
because
like
we chopped down those trees years ago. Dug into the ground. Have you ever saw? I think it's called like top mining or something like
Yeah,
Uh-huh,
strip
yeah.
mining.
Strip mining.
strip mines.
Yeah.
They just cut the top off a mountain.
They just start going down. They cut the layers off as you go.
It's going into the
Instead of
water.
going under there to get it, they just start cutting.
Oh,
the
and
shit
everybody
down,
sounds
bro.
like
All
me.
the
He's
way
like,
through.
well, I'll just go get a glass of sink water. And it's like pink. And they're like, you know, just drinking it. Everybody's extreme poverty.
Yeah,
it's,
dude.
It's great.
It's horrible to
fantastic.
see it in person, and when you go like down a highway
yeah.
and you like driving through it, it's like this is horrific.
Dude, West Virginia is in
Yeah,
a hard
it is.
place right now. Like that's where my grandfather was from. And that's where my family's originally from. I grew up in Virginia, but my family's from West Virginia, and we were there for the funeral. And while we were at the funeral had ended, and then a family member of mine had passed out. Like while he's standing, real old guy passed out, and they thought that his heart had stopped. Like
great.
I know his wife and his daughter are there, and they're like he's doing the whole thing where his eyes are doing the whole thing.
Yeah.
And this is like, I mean, we said,
You know that
we said
funeral
funeral
director.
is done, and then 10 minutes later, this guy's like, that funeral director.
Come on back. Come on back in here.
I got half. Like he's like goes out there to the hearse. He just has like, there we go. We
Like,
get
Betty,
this
we got to head back to the shop. We got more. We got work to do.
Cha-ching,
Oh my
cha-ching.
God,
He's
dude.
just like, what? He's just like,
Need him back.
he's looking at his watch. He's like, I made more money today than I did all.
wealth.
yeah, transfer wealth from your dead body to my pockets. I mean, that's fun to think about.
Dude, it's so funny.
Anyway, the guy
And
was,
it's more funny because the dude ended up being okay. He's all right, at least for now.
At least,
But I mean, he's an older guy. Like I'm just saying, like I didn't get the update about like what his complete condition is, but I knew that once he hit the ground, and like my sister's a PA, and so she was like running over to him, and they're going like he's got a blood clot in his neck. He has like a
Jesus.
clogged neck artery or something in there. And I'm just thinking
that's
like,
going to the brain,
I'm
dude.
like thinking, dude, it is over. You know, like it is game over. But then that ended up. It took him a little while, but he got back up. But I say all that to say this: he's on the ground there, right? They're calling 911. It takes 45 minutes for a fire truck to get there. After he's woken up, and my sister's been
Is this
working with him and
rural
everything.
West Virginia?
This is rural West Virginia.
Okay.
And like not really.
That's
This
all
is
volunteers, too,
Bluefield.
by the
This is
way.
Bluefield, West Virginia.
Only thing I know is Charleston
Yeah, well, it's not
and
Charleston. It's
the
not
place where the place where the Dancing Outlaws from. Jessica Watt.
Okay.
He originally, listen up, kids. There was a PBS documentary on this guy. This came on PBS.
Right.
The Wild, Wonderful Whites.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it originally started as a PBS documentary.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah.
This was called The Dancing Outlaw.
Oh, I thought you were
And
talking
that's
about
the
Wild
better
Wild.
one, right?
That's the
Isn't
one.
that the
that's
one
all
where
about
he's
Jessica.
talking about he's gonna like slit his? He's like,
gonna
I'm tired of these slimy,
His
sloppy eggs.
Very
He's like-
rotund
Yeah.
wife. Because he's a very small man and she's a very rotund.
Yeah,
lady.
rotund.
And they live in a little trailer, and he sniffs glue and tries to kill her.
Oh God.
He talks about holding a knife to her throat over the eggs, over the breakfast.
These
It's
sloppy,
insane.
slimy eggs. And he talks
Yeah.
like this a lot with his hands, which is very odd. And he always has like costume jewelry. And he's got a whole room in his trailer that's dedicated to Elvis Presley. So he'll dress up because his wife will talk about that Jesco is three people. He's Jesse, which is him. Then he's Jesco, which is kind of crazy. And then he's Elvis. So he has a whole thing rigged up where he has a microphone. I don't even think it's a real microphone.
It hangs from the ceiling,
Hangs
right?
from the ceiling,
Yeah.
just kind of like the old.
Oh, like the old boxing ones.
Yeah, the boxing ones, like the old condenser mics. And
Those are dynamic microphones too.
Are they really?
Yeah, Shure 55.
And
That's
that
a Shure
shows you why
55.
they're out of business. That's the reason why I don't use it no more. You think Bruce Buffer's using that shit? I don't even know what he uses. To a tape deck, a dual tape deck, 2 cassettes where he has Elvis, like the greatest hits of Elvis, and then one recording him singing with Elvis. And he does this apparently on a very regular basis.
Jeez.
Until part 2 of The Dancing Outlaw, where it got so popular, he got to go meet Roseanne Barr on the Roseanne show. I don't even know, she was Barr at the time. He didn't even know that he had swastikas tattooed on his hands.
Oh my Jesus, dude.
I think he got in jail,
Jesus.
and he didn't know it was bad.
He didn't know what World War II was.
He didn't even know what World War II was. So
Someone
he
had
goes,
to tell him what World War II was.
He goes, Roseanne, Jewish. Most of the actors on Roseanne Jewish. So he walks in with fucking swastikas. And they're kind of like, Jesco, that's highly insensitive. And he was like, I don't know, it looks pretty cool. And so I think they paid for him, or somebody paid for him to get, like, he has roses tattooed
Yeah,
on
like
his
Tom
hands.
Arnold
They, like,
or
redid it or
somebody,
something.
some actor, Roseanne, some famous person paid for him to get tattoo
Yeah,
removal.
they just kind of came
or
over,
something.
or cover-ups.
Oh, cover
Dude,
ups.
that's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
crazy.
They kind of came over and was just like, you know, that's bad. And he was like, no. And they're like,
Imagine-
it's really bad. And then he was just like, well, I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. Like, he's a decent dude at heart. So he's like, well, I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings or nothing. It's like, you cut me a check, bring me out to Hollywood. You know, the last thing
Yeah.
But that's the boring one. And then part 3 is the Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia, which is people snorting pills while ladies having her baby or whatever.
Throwing
It's like-
cigarettes on couches while people are asleep.
Yeah, that's that stuff. Yeah.
And doesn't he upholds the tradition of dancing?
Yes.
In West
Mountain
Virginia,
dancing, which is
that's
just
the big.
tap
That's
dancing.
what it's all based off of. It's supposed to be that he's this guy that upholds his family's tradition of dancing, but he's this insane guy that huffs ether and does pills and acts like Elvis, and that's what becomes way more interesting than the
But
dancing.
damn near classically, I don't know if you can classically train tap dancing, but he is like up there with
I mean,
tap
he's like a
dancing.
real
a
tap
real
dancer.
tap dancer, but it's called old timey mountain dancing, which is
Yeah.
just tap dancing.
I think it's,
from
yeah,
an
that's probably
old-timey
just
mountain version.
it's probably just like the fall down of like the Irish shit, right? Because that's where it originally came
that's
from.
what
I'm
they
assuming.
all all
yeah.
those dirty people did to us. Exploited my genes because I'm like 100%. Like,
You're 100% Irish.
oh, it's something insane.
I haven't-
I'm 99 point. I can pull out the 23andMe.
You're 99.
I'm
the
99.9% Northwestern European.
Holy crap!
Yeah, like nobody fucked anybody that wasn't white in my family. It's insane. Like, I bet they did, but they're like, I have to pull out.
They didn't
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, it's like, I'm only doing this because you want it.
I'm not telling anybody about this.
Yeah, please, God.
Those are the days whenever you just move your family to the town over or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Like-
I was hoping. I mean, I got it from me, my mom, and my sister. Me and my mom are obviously related, and so is my sister. But me and my sister are half. So I was just like, something cool's got to come out of
Right,
this.
right.
Nothing. We're all just white. Yeah. Only thing I got was I have the muscle DNA, the DNA muscle structure of a professional athlete.
Hell yeah, you
Yeah.
do.
Thank
Heck
you.
yeah. Your
Pretty proud
boy's
of that.
ripped.
Rip, son.
Rip, son.
If I wasn't sitting down, pure abs. Or fat over them.
Yeah, I got I haven't done one personally, but my mom did one, and
Then you're good.
yeah, I mean I don't know what else my dad is, but like I'm curious. Like she was kind of a little bit of a medley, but Irish and British mainly. I think was
same here.
the biggest
Oh,
portions.
dude, 23andMe. I mean, I did this like 5 years ago, like when it first came out. They had like an introductory offer where it was super cheap, and I was like, "Merry Christmas! We're all going to find out what we are," which is nothing. And there was. I'm trying to remember what I was going to say because I just blanked for no reason.
I love it.
23andMe.
23andMe. Back in the day, whenever we first got an initial offer.
Yeah.
No,
It's gone. It's totally gone.
and that's the magic. We didn't even smoke. We're
We
good,
haven't
right?
done
We
anything.
haven't done anything.
I just woke up an hour before I normally wake up. I don't. God damn it.
It's all good.
Can I say that on here?
Yeah, okay. It's fine. You're good. Oh no, but I will say to complete the West Virginia point.
Oh yeah.
It's not. They're not doing well there because.
Let's go back. Pretty bad in West Virginia.
Can I tell you this?
Because I was trying to think of like anything we were just talking about. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't actually say this. But okay, so it took 45 minutes for that fire truck to get there.
Yeah.
And then once they got there, and also they can't take a person to the hospital in a fire truck.
But they all are usually like
They have
emergency
EMS.
medic-
Yeah. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
they're EMS, and they could help you there, but they can't take you. There. And
See you later.
And this dude at this point had been 45 minutes, so he was up and sitting and talking. And by the time they,
having a sandwich.
yeah, like that. And so then they like get him to stand up, and they're like, okay, we should probably go to the hospital or whatever. And they're like, well, do you want to wait on the ambulance? Because the ambulance is apparently going to be on its way. How long? 45 minutes. So at that point, it was a 2-hour response time to get an ambulance to. I mean, one of the most. It's not like terribly far off the highway. This spot. We're in a really large cemetery in West Virginia, and it's in Bluefield. It's huge, and everybody knows where it's at. And it was going to take 2 hours. And they asked. We were talking like, why? What's going on? Well, first of all, everybody's sick here. Everybody's sick.
Sorry.
Every single one of the hospitals within a 2-hour radius is in red alert or red zone thing.
Just a fucking morgue.
I know.
County hospital's just a morgue now, to be honest.
But that's basically what it was. And they were like, yeah, so, and then, okay, so he has a head injury, right? He doesn't know why he fell off. And
he
just hit
doesn't
the ground.
remember.
He just
woke up on the ground.
Yes,
like,
he woke up and we're all around him. He's going, what? Like that. That's what it was. And they take him to a hospital. After they get to the hospital, which they put him into a personal vehicle and they just drove there because they were like, it's going to be
just as long.
it would be terribly long to wait for
Yeah.
this ambulance. And then they get there. There's another 3-hour wait once they arrive there. And once he's actually admitted, the hospital is so overrun with COVID that there's no one allowed into the hospital with him. So he has to go explain to them what happened by himself. The guy that doesn't know what happened.
That would also be kind of funny. It's like, why are you here? But like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Why are you here?
Yeah.
They just get an argument. I work here. Well, maybe I do. I can't remember. Where's my white coat?
Give me your jacket. What are you doing?
Yeah. I'm Dr. Nelson, right? And everybody's like, your name's Tom.
But yeah, dude, it's fucked up there. I mean, like they don't have any medical personnel, and people don't know about this, but like people talk about like the EPA and like the stuff that happened in 2008 with coal and everything, and like how that's supposed to be good. It was like, yeah, but that you don't understand. That screwed an industry. So like all of the men in that industry immediately just didn't have jobs, and there was nothing to replace them because all these coal towns are just that's their entire infrastructure is that they're built on those sorts of things in those places where you go and mine. So it's not like there's another job down the street. You know what I mean? It's like the whole reason that they're there is to do that. And so then once they left, turns out I didn't even know this. This was what was explained to me while I was in West Virginia. They're like all these guys. They all had families. They also all had wives. You know what their wives did? They were nurses.
Oh.
What were you going to say?
I was just saying lazy. They stayed at home. This motherfucker's going down in coal mines, digging shit out with buckets, had canaries and stuff, just drinking silt.
So all of their wives, all the women, they were all the healthcare professionals and all the teachers. So once that industry ended and all those families, all the ones that were decent enough, they had to leave if they were going to do anything. So they took all their families with them. So everybody that was in West Virginia around 10, 12 years ago that was doing well and was working in that industry, which was a huge portion of them, were like, we got to fucking go. And then once they did that, it was like all your teachers are gone, all your nurses are gone, all of the community activist people that could actually work and live and have a lifestyle that wasn't completely at the poverty line are gone.
All the liberals moved out of West Virginia.
Well, and West Virginia was always liberal. People don't even understand that. It's like for 70 years they never voted for a Republican president unless he was like a returning incumbent. There was 2 times between 1930 and 2000 that they ever voted for a Republican president.
I know. That's one of my favorite parts of American history.
I know.
Is that they were like, we're going to have a war against the states, and it's sort of gone over slavery. And West Virginia was like, well, we don't want to be a part of Virginia anymore.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah.
We don't believe in it.
Yeah.
Like the part of East Tennessee that I grew up in was staunchly Union. There's still stuff named after Union soldiers.
Right, because you're from
back.
Kingsport, right?
No, I'm from way outside of there. I'm like from the tip of East Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I'm from from Bristol area, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we talked about that.
Yeah, because I couldn't remember because there's you and then there's another guy somewhere around that I think is from Kingsport originally.
Shorty.
Is that? Oh, it is Shorty.
He's from Irwin.
Oh, okay.
He's from Unicoi County.
BSR?
God.
What's that?
BSR? Brandon
Yes,
Shorty
you're
Rice?
right.
Oh
Yep.
yeah. Oh, you know.
I got drunk one night and messed up
the
his
infamous
name somehow. That's the reason why I don't drink on stage. Is because you notice how I moved my head and my cough was louder.
Yeah.
I might as well just cough straight in you guys' ears. But yeah, I talked to him and he's cool and whatever. And then one night I was hosting, I think it was the Third Coast Comedy one. And it's later, and I'd had a few beers before. I was like, why not?
Yeah. Especially your guest.
And I was just like, here comes Brian Shorty Rice. And he was furious.
Yeah,
and he tried to act like he wasn't. He came back and he goes, I just want you to know I'm not mad at you anymore. I was like, thank you.
My name
Thanks,
is my
Shorty.
name.
Yes.
Marla Stanfield on your ass. My name is my name.
But I've had my name messed up so many times on a comedy stage. We should probably get back to like the depravity that is cutting through West Virginia. And I was like, yeah, but some people.
Damn, dude. I was like, I think that's we probably got through it all.
Yeah, but some people have forgotten my name. I've forgotten names.
I've forgotten names. But I mean, I don't know. And plus, you just love dealing with crazy people. Like Shorty, if he ever hears this, I do like him. I do enjoy him. Actually, do you know who Andrew Stanley is? Mm-mm. Do you know Andrew Stanley?
Yeah, he's an Atlanta comic.
Yeah, he's an Atlanta guy. But he came through, and we've done a few shows together, and that's the only reason I know him. But he loves and is obsessed with Brandon Shorty Rice. The last time that
I'm like that too,
dude. The last time he was here, he came to do that Zany's Monday Night show, and then after that show, he came to Third Coast with Brad and Joe Pettis just to try to see Brandon Shorty Rice. And he wasn't there, and then Shorty hadn't been around for like months, and I told him that, and we talked, and then like
he moved back to East Tennessee.
Yeah, he was
here recently.
Yeah, well, no, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
he just
somebody
got
told me
back.
that.
Because he went back. Apparently, he was running for the law the whole time that we've known him.
Yeah,
running from the law.
Well, how's that surprise anyone?
What?
Hilarious. Yeah, dude.
No offense towards
Was he
Shorty.
like on the law from like his parole or whatever?
But no,
Yeah.
he would like served up time up in like Northeast Tennessee, I think, and like that's why he was gone. And so he came back. And I sent Andrew a picture, and it was just so. It was a Shorty thing. I hadn't seen Shorty forever. He's at Third Coast, and he just comes up to me. He's got a Titans jersey on, and he's got these chains on. He's like, yo, dude, you like my Titan chains? I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, dude, I got these from the tailgate. I've been making a killing down there selling beer. And I'm like, dude,
sells beer at the tailgate.
it's amazing, dude.
The way he
I
swaps
love
out
it.
sneakers. Notice that he always has like a very fresh hat, very fresh sneakers.
Yeah.
And they always match, and he's always looking good. Well, apparently, I don't know if I should be talking about this. I don't want to
Hey,
get him
who
in
gives
trouble.
a shit? I don't care.
Yeah.
BSR is a fictional character as far as I'm concerned. It hardly exists. Dude.
He told me about how he could swap out shoes at like the store. Like he would wear in one pair, and he would swap them out and leave.
Oh yeah.
God.
God damn.
I
It's
think
hard
he
to
might
do that. I
even
don't
have
know
a
where he
thing.
goes to do that. Oh, yeah. That
I
would
think
be
he
how
might-
you have
the
to do
remover
it.
thing too.
Ooh.
Well, that makes sense because he's probably worked all those sorts of maintenance jobs and these sorts of things.
He finds one. He's like, "Let me get that fuck." Why they install him into the counters at the store? That's how I've seen him.
Oh yeah, where you?
I remember
It's on the countertop. You
I
have
worked
to
at a
run the,
camp,
you know.
and they had those, like in the for like toilet paper and paper towel dispensers and stuff. They have like those little key things that sit in the top and they kind of spin down into them. We had one of those, and people would go into town and like go into like places and just take that and just wrap shit around, like just unlock their shit and just like vandalize the place with that sort of stuff. So I'm
what
like,
you're
yeah,
supposed
of
to do.
course, dude.
You know what else works for that? Just a regular key.
Yeah, but
I've
then
been
you
doing that for
break
years.
it.
Yeah,
you don't
of
want
course.
to. Yeah.
At that point, what does it matter? If you're going to steal a roll of toilet paper and just
Well, the love of it for us was that we thought it would be fun to like unlock it, do it, and then lock it back as if like,
it never.
how the fuck
like
did
this
it even
happened.
get
That
out
is
of
a
here?
pretty good
And
gag.
that
That's
to
a better
us was
gag.
like the joke of it was like, how did they even get it to where like the rolls and everything were
Wait,
off
how old
too?
were you whenever this was going on?
Probably 16 to 18, somewhere
Okay,
in there.
yeah.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
makes
this was
sense.
not. Yeah, this wasn't last week.
32. Well, because at one time in your life, trashing something is really fun. And then
Dude,
one day
yes.
you're the guy that's
is-
making minimum wage that cleans up a trash Burger
Yeah,
King.
yeah, yeah.
And you're like, what the? How could I do this?
I remember one time growing up at a friend's party. I just watched these guys. They were playing pool in this basement, and one of them tried to do a chip shot, and it fell off, and it was bouncing, and it bounced into the drywall of the basement. And once they saw it hit and go into the drywall and like stick like that, I never knew that either. But apparently, if you just throw a pool ball at a drywall, it'll just poof, like it's like a cannonball in it.
You have any pool balls around here? I want to see this.
I know. And once they saw that, it was like, I remember even feeling the desire of wanting to do it. But they were just started taking pool balls and just chucking them into every wall in this basement.
Does nobody beat kids anymore?
No, I'm pretty sure I mean,
They
yeah,
must
I don't
have
know
been
how much
beaten.
in trouble they got.
Have to be beat.
Have to be.
I mean,
they're
have
not
to
even
Hey,
pro.
they're beaten by
hitting
life
kids.
now. All these guys are drug addicts, but
Hey.
Eventually caught him. It'll eventually
yeah,
catch
you get yours. Everybody gets yours.
Yeah,
But-
I just remember there was a constant, but I grew up also very backwards Southern and stuff.
Sure.
So there was constant just women beating men, like young men.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like, boys of like 13
women that
plus.
didn't know the men, like
That's what it
women
felt
that,
like.
grown women who didn't know a 14-year-old boy would lay hands and be like, no.
Oh,
like,
I've seen it in grocery stores where I've seen a kid act up and another adult go, "You better calm down,
fucking chill,
You
bitch."
better chill.
Yeah, yeah.
And the parent go, "Thank you,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Exactly.
I've been needing to."
Dude.
I've been needing to have this child
The
beat.
idea
I
of
need to
my-
beat the shit out of this.
Yeah, how much do I pay you? You work by the hour? What do you do? By job?
The idea of my parents siding with me in an argument against like a teacher or another adult seemed non-existent,
Unheard of.
all completely just not even gonna happen. Like,
Yes.
you're gonna be wrong even if you are right. Sometimes.
I was brought up to respect my elders and all this shit. And if you like sassed or talked back to a grown up, somebody was like cracking knuckles.
Yeah, bro.
Like, you were going to get beat up.
Yeah, and even if they didn't actually hit you, dude, they'd say things or they bring you to the side, or they're just like have you ever had like a dude, like an older dude, not like hit you, but get mad at you,
Yes.
and then like kind of take it and get into your face and then somehow squeeze your hand, squeeze your shoulder, squeeze your body in some sort of way
called sports.
Yeah, where they're just like, you do this again and I'll break you in half,
Yeah.
and you just believe them.
Yes.
You're like, yes, okay,
Because a lot of those guys, I believe, could and would.
yeah, well,
Maybe not.
like, well,
I don't know.
It's like,
but
it's like you would do something. It's like, yeah, maybe you wouldn't actually rip me in half, but like if I don't know, dude. Like there comes a time, especially whenever you're young, where you just kind of got to know that there's a line, and if you don't set a line, then you're always going to push the line, and that's just kind of how it is. It's like if you don't go, this is where it stops.
and you don't know how much bitch you have in you either until somebody else punks you.
Yeah.
And everybody gets punked at some.
Yeah.
Not everybody's Mike Tyson. I bet Mike Tyson got punked. It's the reason
Sure.
why he grew up loving pigeons and beating the fuck out of other people. Apparently, he beat a guy half to death for hurting a pigeon or something. There's like so many mythos around that guy. But I guarantee you, somebody punked him at some point.
Yeah, well, that's yeah. I mean, and that's like, I don't know.
Have you ever had somebody rush at you and you curl?
Yeah.
Me too. And I never felt. I wish he would have beat me up.
Oh.
I would rather had that than. And this was like in my family.
I see what you're saying, and it's not even like it's more than just like the thing.
It's
where
more
someone,
them coming over, like-
yeah, doing this little thing,
like
and you
that.
kind of like yeah.
And you're like, oh man, I could have just stood there.
Yeah.
And so
That's why everybody loves that shot of Kobe Bryant whenever they're doing that inbound pass. You know that you not seen that?
Yeah,
You
it's
know what I'm talking about.
Matt Barnes.
Yeah, Matt Barnes. He's
right in his
he's like
face.
about to Like they've been defending each other hard or whatever, and he's mad at Kobe, and Kobe's guarding him as he's like trying to throw the ball.
Yeah.
Well, he's just standing there with his arms down, kind of like right in front of him.
And the dude goes boom and puts the ball. I swear, man, he almost hit him in the face.
Yeah, it's brushes
ice in his veins, dude. Kobe Bryant's like, whatever.
Yeah,
and then he gets that guy thrown out. Like the ref is like, no, and then he's gone. Dude, it was great. It's like, and that's exactly what you want. But like the opposite of that is way more common.
Yes.
Where you just go like look like a bitch, like some guy. You're like, you fucking try to, and then you get mad because you flinched, and then you like become the aggressor.
You're 11,
it's like that's
12.
what they want. That's exactly what they're trying to do because they don't even want to hit you. They want you to start some shit and then go, oh.
I used to be really bad, and maybe I will be again now that I think of it, about pretending to sack tap people, cup check people.
Dude,
but I would never hit you in the nuts. I mean, you had to really make me mad.
I feel like at some point after high school, I was like, why are we still? I was like, what? I've been hitting the balls enough to know like this is so bad.
I
like,
worked
it
it
hurts so
exactly.
bad
That's the reason why I pretend to do it. To watch you go, whoa. It's so fucking funny.
That is great. A fake one, that's fine.
Oh yeah, all fake.
Like
all
like
fake.
if you're over 20 and you're hitting people in the balls, fucking die, dude. Like I hate these people. I hate that.
Dude, I will go up to people and be like, "What's that on your pants?" And they're like, "What?" To look down, and I'll start swinging. Or also, I'll wait. Like I've worked in bars and restaurants so long that you'll wait till somebody picks up a whole tray of something, and I'll walk by from like me to you, so like feet in between, and just go like that, and people are like, "No."
You make that sound. You just go.
I make the sound.
You do that, and you just do your hands like that.
I walk by like 2 or 3 servers like in a row, walking by, and I'm just like, and then smack the fucking mic. There's a good sound effect too. Oh, I'll do it like just for fun in a grocery store. I'll like walk by a bunch of bottles and go.
One of my favorite things to do if I'm like sitting in my car and I've got a drink or something. It's the best when it's ice. But there's people around. If you have some ice in a liquid that you've like finished a drink or something and you pour it out, just go right beforehand, and then the sound of ice and water hitting the ground together after is like everyone's like, oh dude, that guy's puking, and it's so funny because you get a couple times you get people and they do like the turn and jump thing where they're like, oh, like they think it's gonna splash on them or something like that. It's so funny. I love that.
I don't know why this reminds me, but I used to have a friend, and anybody that tries to like fart in public, they'll just be, or turn on water. Hey, could you turn up the TV? Or just something. He would always go, and then just fart, like the loudest fart. But he would just be like, it was so fucking funny. I wish I could remember he did that. Dude. I just remember the last time it happened. I think it was at my place. And usually I don't like people to just walk in and just like leave skid marks. Leave skid marks on the fucking couch.
Eat ass. Rip ass is what I was trying to say.
Eat ass. Yeah, come in. I do not allow it. But yeah, I just remember doing it there, and I just remember losing my shit. I think it's my roommate that does that. Now that I think of it, which is gross.
There's nothing funnier than a well-placed fart in an environment.
It's like something I wish I'd get over.
What?
Thinking farts are funny. Dick and farts
are
just always
stop. They'll always be funny.
I need to climb. Like, you think George Carlin? Well, actually, he did talk about pussy farts in that one, but he just talked about it for a second, where he just came out and he said, "You know what? People don't talk about anymore? Pussy farts." And then he bows, and then he just goes on a rant. But yeah, eventually you would like to grow up enough to where you're out with a woman your own age, and then somebody farts, and you don't be like, oh my god! Dude,
I don't know if that's a life I want. Like,
it's not the life I want right now, but eventually, if I want to have anything outside of what I'm doing, I may want to be like, farts aren't as funny as they should.
I mean, like, it shouldn't be a thing where a fart happens and it's like uncontrollable. Like, you become not a person because you're laughing for 3 minutes or something. Like, that's
I'm not that bad.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that some people are like that with certain things or and like that's too much. But
early morning farts are the funniest,
dude.
Possibly because
sex farts?
Sex farts.
Oh, dude.
See, I have a whole thing. Farts with girls don't exist with me. Me and a girl farts don't exist. I live in where I won't fart around them. They don't fart around me.
I try my best.
I don't know if a girl has ever farted around me. I've never farted around a girl.
I've never truly known a woman until she farts.
I mean, I've been around.
No, I don't want to know.
Obviously farted. But we just
dude, that's the
really
funniest whenever you like stumble upon and they're trying to be good about. Like I dated a girl one time and I was with a couple of people and we were all talking and she just like kind of quietly like walked around. She went to the kitchen or something. I thought she was just getting a drink and she kind of reminded me, and I was like, oh, I kind of got to get something to drink too. I finished the conversation. 10, 15 seconds later, I turned the corner to go to the kitchen, and she had ripped a huge fart, and she was just standing in there, and her eyes as she saw me come in, she was like, oh no, and I was like, what? And then I smelled, and I was like, oh, and that was hilarious. But to me, that's hilarious.
Oh, it depends on the girl.
Yeah, well,
honestly,
yeah.
If she's got if she was raised around men, she's going to be a little bit more forgiving on farts and stuff like that. But yeah, usually if I'm burying my face down there as much as I would like to, which is once a month or something, but if I just always smell her farts,
oh no, I mean,
there's not going to be like,
that wouldn't be good. I'm not saying like that. I'm just saying, and it's never like you're always farting. It's more of like the situation where like you roll or you do a certain thing and like it just kind of like you could tell like a gasket got relieved that you weren't even really meaning to.
Oh yeah,
like one of those types of farts.
Yeah, I could imagine that.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
I mean,
that's the funny ones to me, where you're just like, where there's no intention. It's just like, and then it's gone.
It just goes away. Yeah.
Nah, bro. You got to hide that shit at all costs. That's what I think.
Yeah,
I'll wake up in the morning. I'll wake up in the morning and I'm with them the whole afternoon, and it's a whole I'm like, man, I can't. I'm going to die holding this fart in. But I will. I will die holding the fart in.
See,
I'm not gonna. And they'll leave. I finally say goodbye. I walk back in there. I'm waving goodbye. I'm blowing the fart when I'm watching them leave. I'm like, oh my god, it's the best
Your
part.
Your underwear look like the fucking flag.
I'm not saying don't canister a fart every now and again.
It's striped, the thin black line.
The thin brown line.
Why is it black?
He's been holding it all day.
Oh my god.
I don't even know what that flag is for.
I'm not saying that every time that you fart, you're supposed to be like, yo, check this.
What if you went like this? What if you really like that after like letting the worst fart in the world?
You have to do all of them. It's like you can't you can't make like a running bit out of a fart, because the fart is the running bit, right? So you can't like be with someone and every time you fart be like, and it always works. You know what I mean?
I don't know. My friend that would just go, and then
no, but I'm talking about
I mean, it would be like, it's like a fucking phone.
No, but I'm talking about like with a girl. With a girl.
Oh, with a girl.
With a girl, you don't always every single time rip it in front of them. You can't do the running joke second. It's like it's always just like the accidental ones. It's like farting in church. Like you don't fart in church. You get what I'm saying? Like at a funeral, the same sort of thing. At a wedding, like any of these sorts of like things where you're not supposed to, and then you do it. That's when it's the most fun. It's like I want to hear a fart in the middle of a man's vows. Like that's what I want. Someone to just rip one.
When I look in your eyes, and then somebody like in the distance is like, "Brr." You're like, can I just put this ring on you, honey? It just gets us over.
He loses complete confidence. He just chokes in the wedding.
Yeah, he's just
here's the fart, and he's like,
Whenever I look in your eyes, and then someone farts, and he's like,
I never loved you.
I slept with your sister. Like it was like in high school. That's how I met you.
And again last night, I was like, I don't know.
I wasn't married then. I'm about to be married now. If you just put this ring on.
I take these vows right now.
Yes, I do. And they're like, it's not that part.
Oh my god, dude.
So the continue my white trash talk. I had to stay in the projects for a little while with
the
PJs, the bricks as we like to call them back home. And there was a girl that lived there, and she was right around my age. So I think I was like 19 or 20, and she was like 18 or so. And she was like, "Hey, do you want to walk with?" And it's a really cute redheaded chick. Mm-hmm. She was like, "Do you want to walk with me down to like this place? My cousin or something lives down there." And I was like, "Oh yeah, totally." And as we're walking, I say something, she laughs. And a fart is released that is just like, you can't leave it. Like, you can't not address it.
Yeah.
But we didn't. So it's just like us it's like being like, and that's why the chicken crossed the road or something, you know? And then it was like, she went almost like, hee. But it was just like a laugh, and then it wouldn't. It was like, where it just kept coming, where it's like, wow.
She's in a full panic, probably internally.
It
She's
stopped like, time. There's been 2 times in my life a fart has stopped complete time. That time, which we were both like, so anyway, about your cousin, right? It's just, You know, like what is it? Like the X-Men,
my
whenever
God,
Quicksilver runs around the room,
Stop,
and you know, there's somebody with just like, you know, a cigarette, and he like puts it out and shit. That all happened.
Oh my God.
All because
Oh
that
my
fart. Like
God.
everything stopped. The camera like went around.
Oh my goodness.
The other time was me and a friend. We're at this Mexican joint, also back in East Tennessee, and we were having a serious conversation. I think about his brother, and there was a family like right over here, like a big party, like, you know, like 10, 12 people. And I just remember as we were talking, we like had to stop. It's like, I think he should do this, and I care for the man. I don't want him to get in trouble. We stop, we pause for a breath, and you just hear, "Goodbye, Esther," or something like that. And there's just just the loudest fart, and both of us went. And time stopped. Like there was no more crowd noise, like, you know, chatter that you would hear in the restaurant. Nothing.
The whole pick drop.
Everyone was like, "Whoa!"
Everyone was like, "Oh my God!" Like that old lady could not get out of her chair unless it was like fart propulsion.
Like
She farted. She farted away.
And she's like,
hey, and you know for sure, grandma farts can melt steel beams.
Dude,
for sure. Like,
everybody there was probably just waiting to, like, you know, for the first child to be like, "Ah!" You know, just started like gasping for air. So I put my head where I'm just like, oh my God, because I don't want to be like, "Ah!" Like I wanted to.
Right.
I put my head down. I look up. He's leaving the room.
oh my God.
He had to laugh so hard. He went into the bathroom and said he was like smacking the wall laughing, and then like walked in people from that party while he was like, "Ah!" Like a crazy person. They were like, Jesus. And I was over there where I was trying not to laugh. Like the tears
Crying.
started running. And of course, here comes the server. Like, "Hey, amigo, you ready for some more,
Right.
you know, another beer or something?" I was like, "Please leave me alone." I was like, "I can't talk to you. I can't talk to anybody." Dude, it was one of those times. We left from there, and we went and just went on like a tour of telling it, and nobody laughed. We were just like, and then she farted, and he's laughing in the bathroom. I'm crying, and people are like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" And we're like, "I don't know. We like the party, I guess." It's strange.
Dude, well, I mean, it's, I don't know. Farts are, they will always be. They will always
Be a part of me.
like that's, well, because every new person is gonna have the most hilarious fart experience. You know what I mean? It's like you can't even. It's so prevalent that you couldn't even live a life without a funny fart at some point. It almost feels like no matter what your circumstances.
Yeah.
Unless maybe you're starving, you can't fart. But other than that,
I'm sure there would be some sort of gastrointestinal.
yeah, some sort of gassy. Or
something
even
happen.
them, they're like, ah.
Yeah,
know?
be like, "I haven't eaten in 3 days."
Yeah.
And then you fart and be like, "God, that smells great."
That smells great.
That smells like food.
Oh man, you guys remember when we ate that same shit 3 days ago?
Yeah. No, I think that's just bile. Okay, well, I'm still like to have some of it.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I can't think of another good. Well, I did. I don't know. I shouldn't be on TikTok. I rarely look at it.
What? That's like the tagline of 2020.
Yeah, I shouldn't be on it, and I look at it maybe once every month or two, and then I fall down like a rabbit hole where I'm looking at everything. Like I'm on it for like an hour, where I'm just.
I
like,
know. You'll sometimes. I've hit a couple TikTok reels where I'm like, oh wow, dude. Like it's just and like
it starts to blur.
Yeah.
Like my eyes start to blur, and I'm like, how long have I been doing this? Like I've lost time.
You know what
like,
I realized?
Like an alien experience.
I realized that I wanted I don't like, I try not to be on my physical phone too much, but I do a lot of stuff on my computer, and so like I'll even check social media and stuff like on my computer. And I was like having this feeling the other day, after a shower or something, just kind of like hanging out in the room. I was like, I was sitting on my computer, and I was like, I had the TikTok urge of like, I was tired, I didn't want to do anything, I just kind of wanted to watch stuff, and I didn't know what I wanted to watch, and I was like, what would I normally be looking for here? And then I was like, oh, it's TikTok. It's not even on my computer. It's on my phone. I was like, oh, that's fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, because that is like, there's nothing like that. That's like, I don't know what I'm gonna see, but you're gonna suggest. It's like your best friend's suggestion list of just like, who the fuck knows, and you're gonna hate 80% of it, but 20% you're like, what the hell? There's some really cool stuff on there.
I haven't saw anything that I would say is cool. Like, you know, like, check this out. Like, you know, to like kids or anything. Like, hey, check this out. You realize they strip mined in West Virginia and all this shit? They'd be like, wow. You know, that's enriched my life or, you know, helped me out.
Right.
But I did. Man.
Oh yeah, it's not like beneficial. It is purely the most like it's the most cocaine of the apps.
It is.
Like
It really is.
Instagram feels more like weed.
Twitter is a nice glass of wine that
Yeah.
I get furious at, and then I have to block people, or not block people, but I unfollow people because I'm like, I'm tired of hearing about politics. Let's talk about sports and funny stuff.
Yeah.
And then sports and funny stuff people start talking about politics, and then I'm like, oh, had another glass of wine. But then again, I'm sometimes on it for an hour at a time. On TikTok,
Twitter, I feel like I hardly ever spend any
Twitter,
real time
I love.
on.
Twitter,
I don't just scroll on Twitter because there's too much of the just like you're gonna read some stuff and you're like, what are you even thinking? It's like,
Yeah.
I don't even know where you're starting from to get to what you're saying.
That was Facebook. That was me leaving Facebook. I have Messenger, and I have other accounts signed, set up to where if I need to promote a show, I put it on Instagram, which I realize is Facebook, and it goes straight to Facebook.
Oh, but Instagram and Facebook, it's like,
Yeah.
at least it's not.
Yeah, every once in a while I'll get on Facebook and just be like, has anyone tried to friend me or contact me? And then I'll go through and I'll do that, and I'll usually scroll once and just be like, oh, that's the reason why I quit. And then,
Right.
I was just scrolling.
But it is
on
so
Facebook
weird.
and not even reading it. Like I'd just be like, it was just like I was addicted to the motion of my phone. I think I'm addicted to my phone. I think 2020 made me one of those people that everybody was like, you don't really get on social media? And I'm like, no. And then 2020 happened, and
I would
got a
say
new
2020
habit.
I was more so. This year I've been a lot better. I've actually
It's
I've
gotten
been
worse for me.
I've gotten because I think I got in like the turn of the year and in the spring I was doing it a lot, and I was like my favorite thing, my biggest accomplishment, this has only happened once, so this isn't often, but my average screen time for 1 week was 45 minutes a day.
I'm an Android guy, and one of the main reasons why I stay an Android guy is so it never tells me how long I've been on my phone. if it started telling me, I
got
feel
up
horrible.
there for a while where it was like commonly around almost like 6 hours or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is so much time.
That's insane.
And
That's
then I got
almost
down-
a full-time job.
Like I
a
don't
day
mind
and
it being a
full-time job.
couple hours where it's like between like everything that I do on it is like bare minimum the full efficiency of the thing is an hour.
Yeah.
And in between things, filling up another hour during the day of like 5 minutes here to check this thing while I'm waiting, 5 minutes there for whatever, and doing that for about an hour. I don't mind a couple hours on my phone in total.
Sure.
That doesn't seem terrible to me. But once I saw like 4, 5, 6, and some people that's low. It's like
Yes.
8, 9, 10 is their type of hours and those type of numbers that they're putting up. And it's like that's crazy. And then also, if you look at like the social apps, they're all incrementally getting less relation based. Like look at Facebook. Facebook was a big first one, right?
Yeah.
You had to friend request everybody. And it initially started out as like you had to literally know those people because you had to have a college ID and you couldn't even get into Facebook. It was more of an
exclusively
exclusive.
college.
It was an exclusively thing.
But you forgot MySpace.
Well, MySpace and Facebook, I kind of plump into like the same thing
Because they basically are.
They tried to do the same thing and Facebook won, and so that's why like MySpace deserves this thing, but it's the exact same thing. Where even in the MySpace stage, you weren't like finding random strangers on the internet to be friends with. You were connecting with your friends on also the internet.
That you may eventually
Then
see
you
in
have
the real
Instagram,
world.
and so then Instagram happens, and it's kind of got that Facebook influence where you know a lot of people on your own Instagram, and you're like, okay, but then like a lot of people, a decent amount of their followers, they don't really know that well. Especially if you have over 1,000 followers, you don't know 1,000 people.
No,
not like well.
I almost have, because I made fun of Dogecoin on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I hold 7,000 Dogecoin, I started calling myself the wolf of Dogecoin and shit like that. Dude, my Twitter followers went from about 500 to 900 within like 2 weeks.
Really?
And then that's whenever I was like, I gotta change my name and everything. Because I was just like, I'm just getting like random people just wanting to talk to me about crypto, like tagging me and stuff. Like I was getting tagged like 10, 12 times a day.
Wow.
Yeah, over crypto.
I mean,
And then I had Andrew Yang retweets me making fun of something.
no way, really?
Yeah,
That's
and got
awesome.
like hundreds and hundreds of retweets and all this shit, and not like maybe 2 followers. I make fun of Dogecoin, I get 400.
That's
within
crazy.
a weeks. Yeah, makes no sense.
Huh. But all that to say is like I think that it seems like with Instagram you know some people and then you don't know some people.
Yeah,
Facebook you know everybody.
or you
Right.
should. Yeah,
Basically, it's like you can follow people on Facebook now, like the way that you would, but it's not. It doesn't feel as the same thing as.
yeah,
like,
because I guess Facebook has pages. If you're a
Exactly.
fan of somebody, be the fan of Canaan Wichard.
yeah, you
and
could
you're
be
not
the fan of
really
the page, and
following-
it's not
yeah.
exactly. It doesn't feel like the same thing as like following an Instagram account where you're
Yeah.
gonna get like. And everybody's trying to do like stories and shit, but it feels like that following sort of thing, and that sort of motion of that is mainly around Instagram, or at least in our culture right now. Internationally, it's a different game, but because Facebook's like fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
But in America, but now we have TikTok. How many of your friends that you know personally do you follow on TikTok?
Dude, I may have 5 people that I follow on TikTok, and they are all people I know, which makes it sadder. Because
but those are the only
stuff,
5 people that you could follow. That's what I'm saying. You might have 5
yeah.
people at this point that you would like. It seems like nobody is out here going like, we're our community on TikTok. It's like your whole point is to not be like that. It's like your whole point is to garner this thing, and it's like that's such a strange development of how we're doing the apps, and especially in their popularity. It's like they're not even connecting with people that are anywhere close to them now. All they're doing is for the like, the retweet, the whole thing. It's like there's nothing else. Before, at least, it's like, yeah, people would like something. You'd also see that guy the next day, and if you wanted to say something to him about it, you could.
Well, didn't Facebook's at first it didn't have a like button. Like, it didn't have a like button until like 8-9 years ago, right?
I'm trying to think.
Something like that.
I didn't get on Facebook until like 2010.
That's probably around the time I got on it.
I wanna
Because I
say-
remember girls talked me into getting on my.
I want to say that there was a like button because there wasn't.
I can't remember.
I can't remember either. Well, because it wasn't-
2009, February 9th, 2009.
Was
Oh,
when
it's
they
the
got
big
the
like
That's when they added the like button.
So somewhere around there, maybe.
Yeah. Well,
maybe I
because
had it before, but I never
remember
really
one of
got
the
on
apps.
it.
I think it was Twitter. Didn't have. I think it was Twitter that inspired Facebook because Twitter had the retweet, quote tweet, and then they had the heart.
Yeah.
And I think the Facebook was like, the heart is too much, and so we went to like.
No, the thumbs.
I think I
thumbs up
remember
thing,
that happening.
yeah.
I want to say that that's true, but
I just remember that's all the smart people that were in that documentary on Netflix. They said that's whenever it turned bad. It's because you
I
can
had
like
to.
stuff, and then people started getting addicted to it.
well, because then look, you literally have that as the manifestation of what TikTok is. It's an entire engine built around giving people a like button and following. That's
Yeah.
it. It's no connectivity in the sense of like you actually know these people.
Did you get on Vine? Because
Barely, a
TikTok
little
is
bit.
basically Vine.
Yeah, but Vine, even with Vine, there wasn't an algorithm based. You always still at least had to send stuff to people and follow them.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you
had to
weren't
figure out
thrown
stuff, I
you
guess.
weren't thrown down the scrolls of the algorithm the entire time. That's
Yeah.
just not how Vine was.
Well, and also people tried to make like little mini like skits and stuff.
right,
like
it was
that.
there was a whole culture
Everything I
around
see
like
on-
a mini movie of Vine.
Yeah.
Like
And TikTok, I've watched so many where it's just a dude letting his wife listen to somebody else's comedy, where it might say something bad about a woman and her going.
is that what yours is?
A lot of it,
Dude, it's
because
so
I
funny
never
when
get
you
on there.
hear
Dude,
and see and-
I saw a dude with Down syndrome.
Hell yeah.
Dude, there we go.
I swear
I
to
love
God,
it already. I love it.
farting,
Oh yes, dude,
farting
that's
in the dead
best.
spots of collective souls shine. You know, dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Fart. And not just farts. I mean,
Rip 'em.
like he's shitting himself. If I wouldn't do it on camera. But if I still knew where I could find it on my phone, I would show you guys.
Oh my
And it
God,
was,
dude.
I was just like, is somebody else exploiting this kid?
Dude. Well, no,
Because it's fun.
He's doing it. He wants to be there too.
and
I
plus
guess
you see
so.
some of these videos, man, of these people and like what
These
they're doing.
people.
Down-
people.
Down syndrome people.
Down syndrome people.
That's not even what I
The
meant.
TikTokers.
It's the
Like,
TikTok.
Yeah. TikTokers. It's just like, I don't know.
They're down
man.
with
They
it.
have DS.
Yeah.
They're down with DS.
Yo, dude, you got the
Nintendo DS?
syndrome? Do you got
You
the
got the
syndrome?
Dude, I'm totally syndromed.
I'm syndromatic.
I'm asyndromatic.
Oh, you can't spread it? Sorry, bro. So you get on TikTok, you can't. Like, okay, here, I'll pull up my TikTok right now.
You're okay. Let's. Oh, no, I'm not even signed in because I got a new phone because I lost.
You got to
my
get
phone.
off of there. That's what I don't have TikTok on my phone.
Yeah. Well, like I said, this will probably be the first time I've opened it in years.
Yeah,
Can you turn down the sound?
I just left my phone on a street curb in Virginia, and I had to replace it, and I haven't relogged
I
into
would-
my TikTok yet.
So far, I got to see a baseball highlight, a commercial for a TV show, something. It just said tap to watch live, and now it's trying to figure me out.
Yeah.
Here's young, scantily clad girl.
Is it going to wait to
is.
see what you like, and then it's going to give you
Yes.
more of the stuff?
Basically.
But I don't like anything,
Yeah, that's
so it doesn't know. It just
What
sends
about
me-
they have
view
different
time?
things for
Does
that.
it do
It's
view time?
duration,
They just send me
view
the top
time.
tens of
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
and also here's something I absolutely don't get. If I do get like comedians and stuff getting on TikTok showing small bits to try to generate some buzz and get fans.
Right.
That's totally cool.
It's a marketing game, and that's fine.
Yeah, I don't understand why I have to caption it because I have 2 or 3 because I had friends
Because
that
kids
said,
don't watch with audio on because they're watching during school, and so they'll watch you and they'll see your face and they'll see the captions.
That's
And they'll
even
read
more
it.
bothersome
They're
to me.
autistic, bro. I'm telling you, like
A lot of people are
sounds
like,
that-
it's not just
but they're
kids,
reading
though.
at least.
Yeah, well, but that's what I mean. It's like, and a lot of people. You're right. It's not just kids, but that's who's more so on TikTok. So that's why I say I like that. But like, I think that there's actually, that is, I don't know, that the whole like, that's why everybody's so fucking fed up about words right now and pronouns and all this shit. It's like we
started
for the
reading
last,
again, and it's tore us apart as a country.
Yeah,
Well,
they
no,
got to
no,
learn
no,
what
it's
they
not-
are, and then you
yeah.
start asking questions. That's
They're
the
just
first.
like, wait a minute.
What is this? What the
When you say
pronoun?
she, what do you mean by that?
Yeah.
You mean they have opposite genitalia from a man?
Who is she?
What is she? No.
Bum, bum, bum. Get on tick. 45 more
But I
minutes on
just mean
TikTok.
like, okay, so like you're not you all these young people, you give them these things, and I see it now, dude, because I coach a college ultimate frisbee team, and these kids, they're coming out now.
What?
Yeah,
You just
no,
glazed
it's-
right over
Yeah,
that.
it's fine.
A lot of trans. I'm just kidding.
But what I was saying is like they like all the time, all of their private conversations, like all of their most difficult conversations, they don't have in person. They've never hardly ever had difficult conversations.
They
in
just
person.
text each
Why
other.
would you ever have a difficult conversation in person if you could always text it? Think about that for your whole life. Every relationship thing, everything that you ever thought and you said in front of a person from the time you were 18 and under, that you didn't have to say it in front of them, didn't have to face that rejection. You could just type it and
Yeah.
they'd immediately get it in their pocket. Would you not always opt to that
I
because
had a
you're
girl break
scared
up
kid?
with me over Facebook. And
That's
we were
what I'm saying.
together for a while.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Dude,
She was
that's
like, "This
crazy.
is so difficult to do." Text it, like, and I was just like,
what?
I was like, "You gotta." So at one time, the cliche was a girl broke up with you, like via phone call.
Right.
And you're like, "Give me some dignity."
Yeah.
And now it's like, please give me
It's
the
an
dignity
Instagram-
of a phone call.
Yeah.
Like,
at least not
call
a
me.
DM. Don't DM me that we're done. Okay?
Yeah, exactly. And then
That's
every time I
crazy.
log on to Facebook, I got to think about it. It's right over there. I could just read this note again and be like, Jesus, I do suck. I'm just not into social media. I do like Reddit. I like Reddit and
Well-
Twitter. I've got Twitter down to where it's like the news I want to hear and not like, the only like echo chamber news. Just like give me the fucking facts and push on. And then Reddit is just insane to me.
I don't know why Reddit feels like the most like place where people are most. I don't know. I don't want to say honest necessarily, but like they seem like human people behind
that
a
way.
veiled like anonymous username more so than any other platform.
Because there's huge
that
amount
have-
of call out culture.
Yes,
in Reddit.
exactly.
Like there's a whole thing I follow called, what is the name of it? Quit Your Bullshit.
Yeah.
I think it's the subreddit.
Yeah.
Where if somebody's like, hey, this is my house. Somebody else is like, no, it's not. It was posted in 2008
Yeah,
from
yeah,
this
yeah.
guy. You stole the picture. Where everybody's just at each other.
Right,
Everybody's
right.
just waiting for you to fuck up.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
I'm a
comedy.
big lurker on Reddit.
It's kind of like a
It's kinda
comedy
like
saying,
comedy, yeah.
oh, that guy's on top.
Yeah.
Wait till he finger bangs a
he
waitress. I'm telling everybody.
Hey, finger bang that waitress.
Waitress. And everybody's like, what?
And you won't believe this? The waitress had Down syndrome.
What you did after. Yeah. Can you believe that guy that's tried really hard to be good at something is now using it to finger bang?
And he's making him retarded.
Yeah, at the same
Can you
time.
believe that?
Yeah. Dude, what's he got on his fingers? Lead paint?
just imagine just like dipping your fingers in the lead plate.
Just being like, girl, I'm going to give you the time of your life. Just like fucking
Breaking open thermometers and just
yeah.
fucking.
And it's like you're over there with just like the stick.
Oh my god.
Slap that shit on there. Fucking,
They like it though. They want to go DS.
that's what they want.
Yeah.
Dude.
Everybody does
They want
how
that
you
extra
that's how you get
chromosome.
that fat. Dude, that's how you get that fat butt, dude. Like,
Yeah.
these girls
Yeah,
don't
but
need fake butts, those
sometimes-
plastic silicone butts. They just need that DS, bro.
It's
They
just
need the
coming out.
syndrome.
It's coming out on their forehead sometimes, but whatever.
Oh my god.
God damn.
She said it's coming out on her forehead. Oh my god.
Damn, look at that ass. It's like, wait till she turns around though. What? She's got a better one back there. Fucking that
Oh
one
my
protruding from
God.
where her eyebrows should be. Pretty nice.
Pretty nice. I won't lie.
Yeah, I like Reddit. I find myself doing this, and this is probably detrimental to anyone's health. I'll wake up and be like, reach straight for my phone, and just be like, I'm going to be here for a little while. And then I start bargaining with my own self of being like, you're getting out of bed in 15 minutes.
Right.
And then you're like, what do I have to do today? And if there's nothing pressing, I'm like, okay, 15 minutes.
Dude,
and then you get to that 15 minutes and you're like, I better get 15 more. I'm not retaining
I've been
any
trying
knowledge.
to figure that out. The not pressing part of the morning, where it's like I might have something to do, but I'm like, I could technically sleep these next 2 hours and not be a huge deal. It's like, I hate that. Like, part of me is like, I wish I almost had like an obligation to be at. It's almost easier. Like before the pandemic, we haven't been doing this, but I was like always working out with some buddies of mine, and we would go like 5-6 times a week, and we'd just meet up over at his place. They had like a gym over there.
Yeah.
And we'd meet up there like 8 or 9 in the morning and just like, not crazy workout, just work out and just be there with a couple pals. And then most of the time we'd like drink some water, some coffee, whatever. Later, by the time I get back and everything, I'm fully ready and I'm already worked out. It's like, that's such a good way to
started your day well.
So much better as far as like how I'd feel at 11 a.m. versus like waking up at 10 or 10:30 and then like trying to
So you're not a drinker like me. So sometimes I'll be I did this the other night where I have a little mini fridge, and I reached over and I was like watching a movie, my headphones on. I stay up late. I can't help it. I mean, I could. I could take melatonin at fucking 8 p.m. and be that
apparently
time.
the melatonin thing doesn't help after I looked at that because I used to use it. It's like you build up a tolerance like weed. Almost.
Oh, really? So I have to like.
You'd either have to make more or like you'd have to take more, and then even that after that point, it's like I think you can only use melatonin for like a couple months before you have to take so much that it like doesn't do the sleepy part of it. But there's other things like melatonin that exist.
Yeah, beer. That's what I've been using for fucking decades.
I mean, not exclusively something that's just like mind altering. There's like what do we call them? I guess supplements, basically.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of because I've always had sleeping trouble.
Dude, me too.
I make this a whole Dr. Phil.
Oh
thing.
yeah. What started your
other?
sleeping? What was part of it that was?
I had trouble sleeping as a kid, and then the woman that raised me died in her sleep. And I was just like,
That'll do it.
That'll do
well,
it.
let me go ahead and try to go to I was already sleeping like 5 and 6 hours how it was, and then you're like laying down to go to sleep and being like, well, this could be the last time I ever go to sleep, and then you just lay there like. Well, not sleeping tonight.
Dude, I know.
I took like over-the-counter sleeping pills. Have you ever done that before?
No.
Dude, it's nothing but just like it's like kind of like dirty Xanax, and you just take them. And at first I took one, went to sleep that night, and then like 2 weeks later I was eating like 5 and 6 because I remember I was trying to play in a band for a little while, and the drummer came over. Like I knew his wife through I think my cousin. And she told me about him. And this is back in the day before cell phone. This is like right on the cusp where, people are starting to get them, but then there's still people with landlines and shit. So people would just show up at your fucking door like the 1930s or something. Mm-hmm. And this guy just shows up. And it's like 8 or 9 o'clock. I'd taken these sleeping pills. I'm fucking going out of my head a little bit. And he was just like, hey, do you want to play me some stuff? Like on your bass or whatever? And I was like, oh, okay. And he's like, well, I got to get out of here. I'll call you. And I was like, okay, all this shit. Never heard from him again. Never heard from his wife again. Nobody. His wife was kind of smitten with me, which was uncomfortable. Like my cousin even was just like, it's like, have you noticed that she's really like flirty with you? And I was like, I kind of have.
That's my athletic build.
It's my athletic DNA.
Perfect.
This is perfect white athletic DNA.
Perfect white
that
athlete.
perfect pure Irish.
It's my fast twitch Irish muscle fiber.
It's the extra bone that the Irish have that make us more athletic.
Did you hear that growing up about?
No. Well, not about the Irish.
Yeah, not about the Irish.
That was my favorite one. If somebody got beat so bad in a sport, they went, well, you got to have some extra. It's just like, no, they're just better.
Dude, my dad,
like, no.
My dad is fucked up. He told me that shit one time. And then I mentioned it like 2 or 3 months later, and he laughed so hard. He's like, that's not true. He's like, have you been saying that to people? I thought you knew that was a joke when I said it to you. I was like, no. And I was like, I thought you were being real. He's like, no, that's crazy. He's like, no, you still have legs.
Another reason why people need to stop having kids. Because you might say something, you're like, it's a pretty good joke, right? That kid's like, and my dad said, if they swim over here. It's like, what? I mean, I did say that, but it was a whole big joke.
Yeah,
I was
figuring
on
that one line out. That's a really
something I
harsh
saw
line.
on TikTok, and I was like, check it out.
You're supposed to infer the sarcasm.
Exactly.
My son's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, dude, you learn some cadence, kid.
I'm just waiting for the days on TikTok where all TikTok is just going to be kids pointing their phones at their parents while they're trying to like discipline the kid. You know
I've
what I
seen
mean?
some of
yeah,
that.
I know, dude. I bet that's all it's going to be. What's like? I've heard schools are terrible right now because of TikTok. Because apparently there's some trend where they're destroying school bathrooms.
Yes.
Have you seen this?
Yes. I
It's
read
like-
about, guess where I saw it? Today.
Today?
On Reddit.
Oh yes, we are on the heartbeat, baby.
I follow TikTok cringe on Reddit. But usually I scroll through just like TikTok, regular TikTok. I scroll through and it's like a scantily clad like preteen or something. I'm like,
Yeah.
That's the
I
dude
remember
that turned
one
me
of the
on to
first
TikTok.
5 videos that they showed me was I thought of that right when I first downloaded TikTok. The craziest thing was that in the first 5, maybe 10 tops videos, I had 2 or 3 that were girls in braces dancing, and I was like,
Like, are you talking like leg braces? Back braces?
no, like braces.
Oh, okay.
Forrest Gump braces. They're like dancing. Okay.
You see how like that is so not okay? That like you were like not even in the mouth territory.
Yeah, I was
You're
like, this is like
you're
a-
some guy's wrapped up somewhere.
Yeah, it's somebody looks like Doc Ock or fucking Spider-Man. Like,
No, dude, these girls, they would just have braces, and I was like, this is the craziest. I was like,
That's
why
pretty
would I
cool though.
dental health is important.
Do you guys think it's not cool? Should I ask that question? Who thinks it's not cool?
Or,
I mean, braces
your
in
voice
general.
quivers a little bit. It's like, yeah, it's dumb.
Yeah, if you
you're
guys thought
totally
it was,
stupid.
I just think what you guys is cool is cool.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys
Oh
don't
my
like
God.
girls with good teeth, I mean, I don't either.
Well, that's the thing is like you want them to have the fixed teeth or whatever. I just don't want to be looking at a 14-year-old girl dancing.
Yeah.
No matter like, especially whenever you. My least favorite is whenever you go, oh, that's nice, and then you look for like 3 seconds. You go, oh, fuck, and they're way too like you don't.
most of my time on
God, dude,
social
that's
media.
the worst. You feel so bad. You're
Yeah.
like, I don't even mean to.
Yeah. Josh Wagner, friend of the show. I don't know why I keep saying that.
Just a natural.
I was at a
comic.
bar and he just went, hey man, are you on TikTok? And I was like, what's TikTok?
Uh-huh.
And then he went, oh dude, you got to just download it. It's like he had like there's one guy he followed that would just tell dirty street jokes, just like his old man, and that was kind of weird and funny.
Yeah.
But whenever he got me to do it, and it was like, do you want to like start an account and shit, or you can just do it for free? And I was like, I'm not going to give the government all my information.
Yeah.
They'll have to take that from me in a little while whenever I get addicted to this. And I go, yeah. So I was scrolling through, and like I said, the first 5 were just like little girls dancing in bikinis and underwear.
Yeah.
And I automatically deleted it, and I was like, what kind of fucking joke did you just play on me? Because that's not funny.
It's really weird. Like I waited long enough to get on it to know that was in existence and that it was there, and I knew that I'd thought that like you could curate your thing. So I'm guessing what they're thinking is like if you get a download in a city, like
if everybody else is watching these little girls.
decent chance this is like around 18 or under that kid downloading this app.
Yeah.
So what are we going to show them because we don't know what you are? And it's like they're going to hit the main demographic that they're probably holding on to the most, which is probably that one, I would imagine. Like it seems like these simp guys are fucking fueling like the
I just wanna know
OnlyFans
what
thing, the
simp
whole thing.
meant, like the other day.
Oh, really?
I thought it was like calling somebody a simpleton.
Oh.
So I was wondering. I was like, man, I can't figure out. Like, I learned a lot of words growing up. From
I mean, that's like
context clues.
that's where the word comes from, but that's not the meaning of like the phrase.
I know. It's the reason why it
Yeah.
still doesn't make sense to me. Like a lot of shit. I think I'm just getting old. And so people are like, yeah, this means that. And I'm like, I don't get it.
Well, see,
and then
here's
people go,
Also,
Okay.
like, it
then
didn't
it's
like
over.
it didn't emerge from like TikTok culture. That was a gamer's term. A
Oh.
lot of these phrases that you hear now, like they came from gaming originally. Like simp, that's what you like. That was some like internet gaming type shit. Like
that's how you get away with calling somebody a retard.
Yeah,
online.
it was like
Okay.
like what,
Call 'em a pussy, bitch, and
Yeah.
cuck, bitch.
Oh, I've been called some great
Cuck
cuck.
is- yeah.
Cuck's a big one.
Cuck's a
That's
good
the
one.
first one that I noticed. Cuck and hipster were the first one where liberal people could call each other fags.
Yes.
It's absolutely what it was.
I love that. Yeah.
It's the truth.
Literally is what it is.
I remember seeing,
give me that sweet substitute.
you see like a 40-year-old, obviously liberal dude.
Yeah.
And he sees like a dude with like skinny jeans and like the fucking manicured beard or whatever.
Very round glasses.
Very round glasses.
Yeah.
You know, just whatever you could think of, and you could throw into like
Right,
this
right.
big cauldron of hipster.
Right.
And they're just like, these fucking hipsters. And I was just like, oh, I get. Like,
Yeah.
it took me a little while, but I was like, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
I get what you're.
Yeah, and Cuck was like,
Oh,
oh,
in
I bet
Metro?
you really like see a naked man fuck your wife, huh? Like a, you know.
But I like that more because the butt of the joke, like you call someone gay, it's like to be a gay person is bad.
Yes.
But if it's like if you're a guy that watches someone fuck your wife or you have a problem talking to women, you're a bitch. It's like fair insult. It's like we don't have to call each other gay.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, there's a whole porn industry. I even had a friend once that just kind of admitted it over beers that he was just kind of like, and he had a gorgeous girlfriend, like enough to where whenever he introduced like some friends, he's like, yeah, this is my, well, I don't want to say her name.
Yeah,
This is my friend, because then I would be like, he's like, wait, you feel all these feelings about my, you told a secret in confidence on recording? All of us were kind of like, no, but seriously, is your girlfriend coming? And we were like, oh, wow. They're like married and everything now. They're doing great, I guess. Last time I talked to them, they were. Well, just dead of COVID. They're just fucking riddled. They're just done.
would be so
and they died at the beginning. Like, not even
It's
the scary COVID.
It's like he's got a new girlfriend.
And they're both on ventilators. They just hold hands in that fucking West Virginia hospital. I love you. Which I guess is how it works.
Yeah.
Actually, you're always knocked out on a ventilator, right?
I'm pretty sure.
I went to nursing school, and I have no idea.
You went to nursing school?
You went to
Yeah.
nursing school?
Yeah.
Why aren't you in a
it's
West Virginia
6
community?
months.
When did you go to nursing school?
2002, 2003, somewhere in there.
Dude, you are so mysteriously old.
Thank you.
Like you look like you could be 24.
Can I get a close up? But not right here. Where
To be honest, can
yeah, I can,
get my athletic body.
and you just pour, you just move in. You're
Dude,
like,
you
oh
dyed-
god, your
if you
skin
dyed
is
your
horrible.
beard-
Trying to find
if you
a-
dyed your beard, you could play under.
I don't grow my beard anymore because it fucking
It comes out real
it
gray.
turned white. All of it was like I went to sleep one night and woke up the next day and was like, holy fuck.
Really?
Yes, it
I feel like
sucks
it's
so
almost
bad.
been since I've known you.
Yes.
Like, has it been in the last few years?
Oh, it's been in the last month or two.
Really?
It went from like
Yeah, because now that you're saying it,
I was
looking at
very
it, it is
blondish.
way more kind of whitey.
Dude,
than
it
that.
started getting white on my neck where I was like, that's weird. That's a weird place. Because everybody else you think of like distinguished gentleman, gray here, a little gray there, maybe a little gray on the chin. Mine was like my fucking neck and my nose hair.
No, well, yeah.
I remember sneezing. You know, you get like a big gross booger.
Yeah.
God, there's obviously no women that's ever going to listen to this. Right? The only thing we did
They
is
won't
be like,
make it.
we
They'll
said,
try.
we
They'll
said
try.
retard. We said,
Your finger with lead paint and turn you into a Down syndrome woman.
farts. We
That
did
was
like
it.
a
That killed all the
30
women
minute chunk
listeners.
of just farting.
Yeah. This is bro. This is exactly what I wanted you here for.
So you blow, well, you blow your nose, and like sometimes there's like a hair in there. It looks like a Ren and Stimpy cart, like fucking close up. If that's probably outdated reference too. And I started noticing that they were all white. It was like in my late 20s. I was like, what the fuck is going
Really?
on? Like
Start
the inside of
ripping
my
your
nose.
nose hairs out and you're freaking out.
You know, like if you ever trim or pluck, and like they're usually like like piano wire or something. And I plucked it. I was like, okay, that one's white. And I'm like, okay, well, we'll take it up. It's like that one's white too. Even bought like the little fucking trimmer and like blew my nose. And I was like, God damn it! I was like, my whole inside of my nose is white. Like the inside of my body is rapidly aging. like the outside's like, make him look like he's about 34 tops, and the inside of my body's just dying like in their 70s.
Dude, I mean, I feel like you could do it though. I don't.
What, be a 30-year-old?
No. Like grow the white.
You can
grow the
do
white.
it.
I could, but I just don't
think you
want
could-
to. Nobody wants to just be like, hey, my youth is gone.
You could dye it too.
I know.
But
Have
I
you ever
don't-
seen
from
somebody
men.
that does that?
You just
An
gotta get it
old
right.
face
Yeah.
on like fucking like
But
jet
you don't
black.
even have to
gotta
dye
get it
You don't
right.
even have to dye
Yeah.
it. Just don't even dye it. Like just fucking. I feel like it's different now. I don't think that like I know guys that are in their mid-20s that are like having that gray shit, and it looks fine. And it's like,
I got a
you
good friend
also
that's like
look
that.
young. Like it's one of those things where
You put a big fucking patch of white fur on your face. You don't look young
But
anymore.
I'm saying,
you
like,
look so young, and dude, like your hair's.
have you ever seen that
David
guy?
Letterman.
What is his name?
Come in here like fucking. I look like I crawled out from underneath the trailer. Ha ha ha.
You just get like a tarp bag to put over.
Yeah, I just wear a barrel in here.
I don't know, man. I just want you to be getting off the white. That's all.
Dude, I could do it. I mean, I was doing it, and
I'm curious to just see, like, if you
wait till
really, like,
summer ends and my face gets cold
Well, yeah,
one
it's-
time.
that's a
I'll
harder-
probably see me be like,
yeah, it feels like, you know, a white beard. That sounds. I mean, by the time Christmas comes around, you could be really rocking one. You could be
I could be Santa Claus.
Dude,
I'd be
that's
Santa
your
Claus. I
next
could
thing.
fucking. Who wants to sit on my lap?
Sultry
and
Santa.
everybody's like, no.
Dude, triple S, sultry Southern Santa.
Sultry Southern Santa. I think he comes from the South Pole.
Hey.
I don't know why I winked. Did you catch that? Zoom in.
That's because he comes out his asshole.
Because that's my asshole, baby. Yeah, I could probably do that. I know that just because of my age, whenever I signed up for a talent agent thing that was sending me out on like auditions and stuff, all my emails, they obviously don't look at anything but your age. Hollywood,
Which seems crazy.
Hollywood, all this shit is ageist. I mean, it's racist too, and it's sexist, but it's mostly
All
ageist.
of the ists that are the issues are the big are like bigger issues in Hollywood than any other given industry,
Yes.
because they're obviously more apparent. It's like yeah, you didn't include anybody, and you can see that in the movies that you've been making for years. It's not like they don't have the proof, the writing on the
And
wall
also,
of like
don't
this.
don't tell me something's extremely realistic if every race and gender in a friend group is represented. Because how many times have you ever seen like people walk down the block and it just looks like the Burger King Kids Club?
I mean, nowadays in America you could find that, but like in
Rarely.
cities, like exclusively almost, like you don't almost never find. Outside of like, I could almost think 3. It's like you could have any 3 given, but that's like the most, and any most like that. If you get more than that, it's like that's just like
Yeah.
it's
Hollywood,
hard. Like
Hollywood
they
is
even meet
full
all
of
those
shit.
people. Yeah.
It's totally full of shit. And so I was getting emails for like Bayer aspirin commercials, just like anything you could think. I got one to be old drunk in a country music video. And I was like, I think I could get this. And then I had to be there at, I think it was like 7 a.m. to like fucking audition. I was like, I am not doing this. I was like, oh, yeah, because
Who's
it's
gonna
like
be an old drunk at
a
7
1 in
a.m.?
100 chance of me getting it.
Yeah.
And I have to get up at like 6 a.m., look good-ish to get there to play something that people are...
You should have just methoded it.
Yeah.
Just like gotten up at 6:30, started smashing
Not went to
it, just
sleep.
kicked in the door.
Not went to sleep.
I'm
fucking
your fucking drunk.
wreck my car in the fucking parking lot. Just get there. All right.
Validate this.
Fucking puke. I'm ready for a refill.
Oh my god, dude.
But yeah, that's what I got sent on. The best one that I got sent on, which was just a disaster from the get-go. Like, you had to take like 8x10s of your fucking headshots and all this dumb shit, and I had to bring like a folder. It was like homework where I was like, I'm not getting this part, but I'm going through the motions. It was for a Toyota like training video. And I go there, and I can't remember, there was something like my papers had to be in order in a certain way, and I go up to the desk or whatever, and everybody else is waiting out there to like go in audition like 3 and 4 at a time, and I go up and I give it to the lady, and she looks at it and goes, oh, this is all wrong, this is like in the wrong order or something. And I go, oh, I'm sorry. And she goes, hey, everybody, just want you to know it's going to take a little bit longer because this guy can't follow the fuck. I guarantee you, this bitch, and I mean that wholeheartedly.
Wholeheartedly.
Every bit of it.
Listen, there's a reason there's a word. Sometimes you earn it.
Yes, she earned it. Hardcore. She called me out in front of everybody, which, by the way, did not make anybody wait for anything.
Yeah.
Because there was nobody behind me. I was like the last one there. And I guarantee you she's either protesting against masks right now, or she's online calling everybody a mouth-breathing idiot. There is no in-between. She is not a moderate.
Right,
she is
right.
one person that tries to make other people feel bad at all times. And I hate those people. I don't know if I've expressed it. But I go in, and it's me. I think it's 4 of us. It's like me, a guy that looks to be in his 50s, a lady that looks to be in her 40s or 50s, and then a young lady that's probably early 20s. And so that's how they line us up. Me, young lady, older guy. And they were like, here's what you do. You're waving at the end of like, like somebody's, imagine someone driving off and they look in the rear view and they just see like Toyota workers waving at them or something. That's the whole fucking bit. But she also said, okay, say your name clearly and your whatevers to the camera.
Right. Slating, basically.
And yeah, so from doing stage stuff, I just stage projected. So I said it loud and very clear, which
in film, it's not
the
same
wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
Because the girl next to me cringed every time I spoke. Like, you can see in your peripherals, she was just like this.
Yeah.
And like moved away from me.
Yeah.
And that was my best audition. I auditioned for a TV show, and I was supposed to be there, I think, at 10 a.m. They had some sort of meltdown. Mm-hmm. It was like a CMT show that almost everybody I know that auditioned got on the show except me. And probably because of this story. And so I'm waiting in the lobby, I guess. Uh-huh. And there's a guy that's very professional, looks like an actor. And, and you chit-chat a little bit, and he's like, yeah, I had to move back home from L.A. I was getting commercial work out there, and I'm trying to do shit out here. And after about the second hour, because we were supposed to go back at a certain time, 2 hours past that, he goes, fuck this shit. This is the most unprofessional thing I've ever dealt with. He gets up and leaves. Somebody else leaves. They still kept popping in and just being like, guys, we're getting things straightened out. Don't worry. We're going to get to you. And we're all just like, okay. And I just sat there because I was like, this might be the time that I'm on like Letterman, well, whoever is a late night guy at this time, and just being like, and that was my big break.
Yeah.
Everybody else left. I was the only one that had to hire me. Come to find out, they had already hired somebody anyway, and they were just meeting a quota. So I come in there, and there was a lady, and she was on her MacBook, and she's all mad. And I was doing like an antique roadshow type dude. That was my character. And I was like, how should I play this? Should I play it like a straight guy? Is this going to be comical? Like I was just feeding off the camera and the guy reading his lines, the other character's lines. And she stopped me. Wait, stop. You're the straight man. Read your lines. And went back to pecking. So she was also a bitch. Because that was a very rude, mean thing to say.
Crazy.
Which everybody else said that they had that same lady, and they're like, yeah, she was like, okay, now try it this way, and like working with them and like bringing people in. And I was like, oh, this is going to be so much fun. And then I got in there, and she was like, shut your mouth and just read the lines and get out, basically.
Shut your mouth and read your lines.
Yeah, shut your mouth and talk.
I don't know if you realize this, but you look a lot like her dad.
Yeah, and yeah, I read the lines. I literally just was like, hello, how are you? And the guy was like, pretty good, great. Like, I even looked at the camera, like at the end, I was like, are we done? Mm-hmm. And he was like, yes, sir. And I was like, they'd already filled the role, and they the guy that went before me, which I also know, pissed him off because he went in too early and like tried to like double read with people. Like he was like fucking really getting into it, and they were like, quit. And he fucked up everything.
Oh my God,
and then I followed him. I was like, hey everybody, would you like me to read my lines? They're like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, we talked in the parking lot afterwards. That's the only way I knew that.
Yeah. I've never done like the actor audition-y sort of deal.
I wouldn't recommend it, dude. Maybe you should. You might get in there and get a fucking role.
I've done
money.
I've done the production side. Like I've worked on that. Actually, if anyone is still watching this somehow, in like a month, actually the poster's up on that wall right now. We worked on a movie back in 2016 about drug rehab. And it got into the Atlanta Film Festival, premiered this April, and it's actually
a documentary or a real movie?
Yeah, documentary.
Okay. Documentaries are real movies.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
It's a dramatization.
Yeah, exactly. But it's also coming to Nashville Film Festival in like a month, and it'll be in the Austin Film Festival as well. So
yeah. So
that's
really good.
If anybody wants to come out and watch, that'll be here in a few weeks.
Well, I'm busy, but I got shit to do personally.
Obviously. And it might start before 11 a.m., so it's going to be a problem for both of us.
Dude, I'm telling you, I talked to a friend once, and she's an older woman, and she goes, the best time to go to sleep is 3 a.m., and the best time to wake up is 11. She goes, that should be always, because you get you get daylight, you get nighttime, you get dark.
The only thing you don't get is the morning. And I get like that. I get that.
It's not afternoon
at
11 a.m.
I know. And I get what you're saying, but
I'm
like the
standing by
real
that.
morning, like the first part of the actual morning that actually feels good. Like if you're outside, like if you're insulated, then it doesn't really hardly matter. But like if you're outside, the morning feels so fucking good.
The morning always just reminds me of having to go to a job you don't like. That's what
That's
it always
not
reminds
wrong
me.
either.
You wake up, because how many times have you just been in a car or on a bus or however you're getting to work,
Yeah,
and you're
just like
fuck. It's fucking 8:30.
Yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
God damn, what am I doing?
Yeah.
This is so dumb. So
That's the reason we come here and do this. Like this is exactly it. It's like that. It's like the hope of the aversion of that.
Yes.
Is the whole is a big part of the pursuit of most people that do this.
I'm
type of
pretty
shit.
happy that 2020 has made people like anti-work. Because
Like,
everybody
it's
gets,
like, oh yeah, you fucks are now getting along with this whole no working thing. It's a great thing.
everybody understands me now. They're just like, oh, I took a little time off. Next thing you know, I was taking better care of myself. I was less miserable.
Yeah.
I realized that my career was a dead end.
Yeah.
All this stuff. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
well, look at that.
whenever you tell me to grow up a few years
Look at
ago.
that.
Huh, that's
Look at
weird,
that.
huh? How do you survive only on working a real job a few days a week? That's because I don't have any kind of thing to spend money on.
Yeah.
I don't, booze. I like booze.
Everybody has a vice, bro.
Oh, boy.
We're adults here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not addicted to I don't have to have the best shirt. I don't have to have
No.
cool clothes.
Exactly.
I don't have to have a great car. I don't have to have any of that shit. Even my pets are dead, so I don't even have to fucking take care of them. I don't have to do shit anymore. So, I mean, you just lessen your expenses. And
Yeah, I
you
mean,
can live.
that is definitely like I completely agree with that. As far as like keeping your one of those fears in my brain of like even starting to like work harder is like you get to a certain thing and then you're trying to keep that.
Yes.
It's like I don't
keeping
want to
up with the Jones.
Yeah. It's like well, and that makes sense too because in life you don't want to like get something and then have to end up losing it. Like that makes sense. Like you don't want that really. Like at the end of the day, like you wouldn't want to be like, hey, you want to live in this house for 5 years and then be completely poor and broke afterwards. It's like you wouldn't necessarily say yes to that, but that because of your life choices, that might be how something happens. But that to me always seemed like the worst option. Like the idea to me of like not having much and not like getting a bunch of extra shit and having that sort of thing is like that's like back burner. It's like yeah maybe if I decide that like the way that I'm doing it is a way that I'm not going to hate doing forever, then that I think would be.
That's exactly what you got to do.
Exactly.
You have
It's
to
like
figure
you
out how
got-
to make a little bit of money and have a quality of life. Because I mean, the way I've looked at it, we're getting deep, aren't we?
Oh, here we go.
The way I looked at it, you're going to fucking one day die. Surprise.
What?
Yeah. One day you're going to fucking hopefully get the luxury of death. No, the luxury of knowing that you're going to die. Instead of just one day walking down the street and a brick falls on your head, which I saw a video of once. I lost sleep over that because I was just like, oh, that poor
The
person, that could be
bottomless
me.
number of tragic ways that you can instantaneously die.
There was a TV show after called 1 Million Ways to Die.
I mean,
1,000 Ways to Die.
It was only 1,000.
It was
They
only
had like
1,000.
1 million. I feel like it was 1 million episodes.
Great show though.
It also fucking fucks with me a little bit.
Yeah.
As funny as it was, it would fuck with me because I was like, oh, that was a real person that took their last breath
Right.
because they farted near a fucking, an open flame or something.
Like a lady was like masturbating in a tent and it flew into the air, got swept up by the wind. She was crushed to death.
See, that's
That was
cool.
one of my favorite ones.
That's pretty cool. I know they get pretty liberal with like, this guy was beating off in a tent. It was like, how does anybody know what he was doing?
right. They pump it up. I think they're very.
and I'm sure but that's fine. It's whatever. But it is truly crazy how much like we're bags of water. Like it's so weird.
Oh, we're pretty fragile, dude.
Yeah. I know. It's like we're not overly durable. So it's
A horse shits out a baby. And that baby gets up and starts walking. And fucking does horse stuff.
Yeah.
I've always said that human babies are the weakest babies, maybe.
Yes.
Well, of course,
Or
they
the
have to be.
weakest ones.
They have
We
to be.
shit them out. And then they're like, get away from them. Like, I even read somewhere, or maybe it's probably on a crazy website, that like babies smell a certain way, so humans don't want to eat them. Because
Really?
apparently that was like a problem in our evolution, that we were so hungry that somebody would have a baby, and everybody's like, fucking put that shit on the Barbie, man. Let's have some baby.
if you're gonna eat a human, a baby's probably the best
Probably
option.
the best. Oh,
And that
succulent
sounds
fat. Oh, it's
terrible,
all
but like
fatty.
yeah. Like you just cooked it. Like it's fresh
Yeah.
out the oven.
Chris Evans says that in that train movie. He rides the train. He's like, I hate that I know that the best tasty people are babies. That's in a movie.
Oh, yeah.
He's like crying.
Snowpiercer.
Yeah.
Snowpiercer.
He's like
That's
crying.
true.
It's his emotional moment in the movie.
Well, I mean, even in The Road, Cormac McCarthy's The Road, they eat a baby. They left that out of that very, very sad, long movie.
Why not?
They at least left the baby eating out because they were like following. It was like 2 dudes and a pregnant lady because they were like, maybe there's some hope here because these 2 dudes are watching over this lady so she can have this baby and maybe the world can come back, which it can't. It was a nuclear holocaust. Like everything's dead.
Yeah.
So it's weird that they would even try to live. Anyhow, and then one night, like they could like hear the lady having the baby and the baby cry and all this stuff, and then they like followed their camp the next day whenever they got up and moved, and they just found the remains of the baby where they ate it.
Just the family. Everyone was like, "Let's just rock this."
Yeah,
we can't do this. We're not going to be able to. We'll eat the baby.
We might as well just eat the baby.
Oh my God.
We've been starving to death for a long time. You're going to have this baby. We're going to eat it.
The psychology of like
oh, they protected her to get the baby out, and then like we're going to eat the baby. And then they all 3 sat
down and had a,
Holy
I would imagine
shit.
all 3. Because the woman, I mean, they could have just ate the woman too.
Placenta.
Placenta, yeah.
Come on.
People fried up.
A little extra.
Ate it, yeah. That's a nice
I don't know, dude. Cannibalism, I always thought.
Well, you're against it?
I always thought that cannibalism was a thing that was like purely. Aiden Field was in here about a month ago or something, and we were talking about cannibalism. I always kind of thought that cannibalism was like a thing like that, where it was like the end of the world sort of feeling is around you, and like you have nothing else and you're starving, and that's when you become a cannibal. And he was like, no. There's some cannibals that are just out here like that. Like it's a fetish or
because it's hot.
They dig it.
Yeah.
Well, there was
and he said there's some girl he knew went on a date with another girl, and she got
there we go. Eating, huh?
I know. She got over to this other girl's house, and that girl had made her dinner, spaghetti dinner, with human inside of it, bro. With human
made her
leg.
a nice spaghetti dinner. Got so serious about
I fucking made an Italian dinner for you.
And you're worried about that it's part of my uncle's thigh. I guess you could just, lob
That's
off
what
a
he was
piece.
saying. It was like from the inner thigh
Of her own.
of her own leg.
It was her.
She would cut her own leg, fry that shit up, and then share it with her date.
She would eat it too?
Yes.
Because otherwise, that's a pretty good prank.
It's recycling.
Hey, are you a cannibal? No. And then she shows her inside my thigh. How's my thigh taste, bitch? Cameras come in.
Scott Tetterman's mom or something.
Yeah. I was thinking more like Ashton Kutcher comes over. You a motherfucking cannibal? That fucking Von Dutch.
Not punked at all. He's just like, you ate a lady.
You have committed one of the worst things you can do to another human.
We set this up. It's all on film. Look at that camera there. That camera there.
The lady's like just blood dripping out of her mouth. I don't think I could go back. Well, there was certain cultures, and I don't know if it still exists.
Oh no, cannibalism is like so dynamic.
But they would like take your father, like when your dad croaks, you take him up on a fucking ridge of some sort, and you you eat his like fucking innards, like you eat his liver.
So organs. That's one thing. Like organs are actually so healthy.
Yeah.
Like it's not as bad for you. Like if you eat like human muscle, that'll fuck you up so fast. But if you ate a organ off a dead guy, probably be fine.
Well, there was that movie based on a true story called Alive. Have you ever watched Alive?
Yes, the crash the plane in the mountains to the soccer team or tennis team or something.
Soccer team.
Oh, cool.
It's the most
Why
manly
is it
thing a
always
soccer team's ever.
teams? Didn't they get trapped in the caves too?
There's too many of them.
God has a beef with them.
That was a baseball. Well, was it? See, God does. God hates soccer.
He's like,
God hates soccer.
we eat each other.
But yeah, I guess it was those little kids. Were they a soccer team?
I'm pretty sure those
And then
ones were in the cave. That like that, like the
Oh,
divers
yeah,
and
the
everything.
coach.
Had a
They were down there
fucking-
for like a week.
Yeah, like a.
I thought they were just Boy Scouts.
No, I'm
They
pretty
might
sure.
be. There's something.
Google it. I'm pretty sure it was.
There's a
fucking soccer
reason
team.
for them to be in that cave. Well, there was really no good reason
To play soccer?
Yeah, they
They're
were down
doing
there to
some
play
futsal. in the-
I
Hey,
think
let's
that they
go.
were doing it just as like a trip, like
They were having a good time.
Yeah, they
and then
were
it
just-
flooded, and then did any of the kids die? I think one of the kids died. I know that fucking British.
at least one or two.
Oh, yeah,
divers
after
died.
practice excursion. The
Yeah.
Wild Boars soccer team.
Hell yeah,
Oh
Youth
my
soccer.
God.
the Hogs.
The Hogs.
The Hogs.
They went hogging.
Remember
Went
Wild
hogging.
Hogs
They went
with,
deep in that
Wild-
cave. Yes, Wild Hogs, the fucking motorcycle.
Yeah, the motorcycle movie.
Tim Allen. He's
Was
like,
it Tim-
whoa.
Was it Tim Allen?
Wild Hogs is in.
Oh, he was Tim Allen.
I never watched
John
it.
Travolta, I think, is in it.
Tim Allen.
I was old enough to where I was like,
I didn't watch it
nobody's
either.
going to force me to watch
Kevin
this.
James might be in it.
He's in a lot of them.
I don't think it was.
Is he still fat?
Come on.
He's still kind of fat. You remember that boxing movie?
He's in decent shape.
He actually did a pretty good boxing movie.
He
never
does those
seen-
really funny videos on his YouTube now where he edits himself in as the sound guy in different movies. and he's like responding to the dialogue. It's really funny. They're really good videos.
I think I've got out of like a lot of celebrity culture things, so stuff like that.
He did that in COVID. He just did it because he had nothing to do, I guess.
I watched a little bit of Jack Black play Red Dead Redemption 2.
He's like streaming some now, isn't he?
He was really good at video games too. Like
obviously, like he's like I think that he's a genuine.
But
guy.
But he's like 50 or something.
But he was always in that type of stuff. Like the whole.
Was he?
Yeah. Bro.
Okay.
Like I'm pretty sure that's like he was kind of like that nerd. He was like the actual epitome of like this nerd thing meeting this Hollywood thing, and it worked in like a beautiful sort of thing.
I thought it was just because his band.
Oh yeah.
What's their band's name?
Who is it?
Tenacious D.
Tenacious D.
Yes.
Got so popular.
Yeah.
Because I remember the guys that did Ren and Stimpy originally, back whenever Flash was like the big way to like animate, and everything just looked like
a little boxy.
Like original South Park.
Yeah.
And they did their Fucker Gently was the video they made for him. It was just like Satan, and like a devil girl, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember that was huge. And I'd never heard about Tenacious D until then. And then after that, everywhere I went, then like School of Rock came out, and Pick of Destiny, all this shit. And I was just like,
and then he did even that crazy movie Nacho Libre.
Yes.
Is fucking great because it's Jack Black and no one else does that movie. Zero other people I know in Hollywood could do that.
You know how it was like taking place in like an orphanage or whatever?
Right.
A friend of mine that was in an orphanage in like South America until he got adopted by a couple of whites. That's what we do, I guess. And he was like, you know what, that's like the most realistic movie about how it kind of was in there. Like,
really?
I was like, what? He was like, yeah, it's like everybody just kind of hangs out in despair and hopes for something good to happen.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my
I think that's
God.
the way he put it. I wish I could remember now.
Holy
Sometimes,
shit.
you know, whenever somebody tells you a story
and
then
just
your own
yeah,
mind
yeah.
fabricates more, and there's like, and then you jumped off that cliff, right? He's like, absolutely not. Only thing I did was walk down the street, and you're like, oh, fuck. Well, I've been telling everybody you're a cliff diver.
That's great. Well, I think we did it.
Did we
I think we
nail it?
did the thing.
Yeah, that's 2 hours and 10 minutes.
We did it. I was worried about doing an hour. I was like,
Yeah,
we're gonna
you
run out
said
of
an
shit
hour,
to
and I was
say.
like, we generally try to do around 90. But I like once we get to 90 minutes, it's like at that point, it's a free off button whenever we want it.
Oh, yeah.
And I just don't want to push too far. And like, I think we've been good.
It's sad.
Yeah.
Start like
we can
two
go out
people
here
at
and
a
get
bar.
sad and talk shit about people we know or something. And
Just
that's
two
it.
people. Two dudes get drunk at a bar. It's like, yeah, man, it's football and all that shit. It gets to the end. It's like, my fucking dad beat me. And everybody's like, God damn it, quit drinking.
I really miss my ex-wife.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're all together here.
Yeah.
I'm glad we all do this sometimes. I'm glad we
I
can.
got 3 Facebook accounts just to stalk her, just to see how she's doing. She's so happy with the other. I know I could make her happier. I've
She
changed.
looks so happy.
She looks so happy with
Oh my
that other
God.
dude raising my kids.
Yeah.
Cut it.
Clip it.
That's Josh.
Thank you for having
so
me.
much. Thank you for having me. Thank you. All right, we're done.